Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Today we are breaking down the massive divergence between Bitcoin and traditional markets, with peace talks stalling, Bitcoin catching a major safe haven bid, as well as Ethereum seemingly outperforming. But what happens when the S&P 500 and stock futures open tomorrow? Let's dive into the charts and the macro data to find out.
JJ's got the keys to the blockchain breeze. He's live every day, decode the mazes. JJ's cryptic corner, where the coins keep turning. Log in now, the future's burning. JJ's cryptic corner, JJ's cryptic corner. Pixels glow, charts flow, crypto whispers, secrets show. He cracks the code on this winding road. JJ's cryptic corner, JJ's cryptic corner, JJ's cryptic corner, JJ's cryptic corner, JJ's cryptic. Tune in, lean back, grab your coffee, hit the track. JJ's live, don't be late. Cryptic wisdom, seal your fate. JJ's cryptic.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Happy Saturday. How's everyone doing today? Smash the like button on your way in. I got a poll in the chat for you guys. How do you think peace talks actually went today? Let me know what you think. Your options are: bad as reported, good, they're baiting you into fear, bad, World War III continuing soon, or great, deal before market open. Let me know what you guys think. Poll in the chat. Let's see. Hey, what's going on, guys? We got something a little bit different today. I'm going to wait for some people to roll in here before I really talk about it. But, is it hidden? It might be hidden. I might have accidentally hidden. It is hidden. Okay. So, yeah, I'll wait for people to show up. But for now, Bitcoin was doing pretty good earlier. Now, unfortunately, we're getting a bit of a bearish engulfing candle right now. $73,027.78 on the current price. Let's go refresh our liquidation heat map. Let me get rid of these old lines first. Looks like we did for a hot second break out and liquidate some bears, but we have since retraced that move. So let's refresh our liquidation heat map and see where we're at. Starting off a little bit earlier today, expecting maybe a slightly longer stream than usual. We'll see though. 73,829. And then the top of the top, we go, I'm going to go all the way up just because I can, 76,585. And then the top of the bottom, we're going to go, look at that, we liquidated a bull as well, 72,748, possibly several bulls. And the bottom of the bottom, we go all the way down to 69,722. Cool. So let's see what comes of that. As of right now, 4-hour time frame. We do unfortunately have a confirmed red dot on market cipher, but that is back here, so I'm not sure if that is since invalidated with the further upside, or if it's going to come into play in a higher time frame. We do have a green dot on the momentum wave. We have, let's see, we got a bearish cross over the moving average and the RSI on the 4-hour time frame. We were overbought there as well, so I wouldn't be surprised if we do get a proper retrace. At best, we can hope for a little bit of a chop sideways, reset that RSI, let that get to a little more cooled off level. But for now, we watch and wait. ETH severely, maybe that's not the right word, tremendously outperforming Bitcoin. On the 4-hour time frame, it is up 1.75%. On the day, this candle alone was 2.95, while Bitcoin kind of just sat there and did a whole lot of nothing. So dominance obviously fell a little bit. That was interesting. It has been, dominance has been very, very strong since the very beginning of April 3rd up until April 11th. So just today. So we're getting a little bit of a push down on dominance. We got double confirmed red dot on market cipher. I'm not sure if that's even relevant on Bitcoin dominance, but we're going to talk about it and point it out. Bitcoin itself potentially bouncing off this 73K level. We'll see if that holds. ETH, though, definitely the star of the show of the day. $2,285. What's going on, Kwame? What is the arbitrary number we're holding, you ask? We got above 2250 was kind of the breaking point. It was the resistance. We had resistance. That's basically it. You know, we got our little first rejection. Let's take it back a little bit further, actually. We're below our purple trend line. The purple trend line goes all the way back to 2020, so that's a 6-year-old trend line. And we're below it. We got rejection. Finally, we got that rejection support bounce off of 2080. A bit of an arbitrary number, but we'll take it. We get that support bounce. We blast through the purple trend line, use it as support, little double bottom action, another resistance, and then we pull back to another arbitrary number like 2,240, and we just blast past 2250, which was that resistance up here. And we are now currently sitting at 2286. Can we stay above 2250? Are we going to pull back and retest it as support? I don't know. But right now, it looks really good, very strong. I don't know why it caught such a massive bid. We do have very clear resistance right here at 3360, another arbitrary number. ETH, for some reason, likes the arbitrary numbers. Let's see if we get above 3360 next. And potentially, or I guess 3350. Potentially, what's going on here? Here we go. Continue higher. As of right now, though, 2285, liking what we're seeing. Keep in mind that the two red dots are present on ETH as well, but those may have been invalidated since then. Last one was right here. Kwame said MacBook Neo came in today by Apple. Really? You think so? MacBook Neo. Let's see what Grok has to say about it. What can you tell me about the MacBook Neo? Is it worth buying Apple stock over? Is the Neo itself worth buying? Okay, what's going on, Gourmet HQZ? Appreciate you guys for being here. Cheers, happy Saturday. Fun stream plan for today. Let me see. I'm a bit distracted. Apologize. Oh, my phone just went off. Okay. Gourmet said, "What are you going to use it for?" So I have a MacBook Pro. I've always been a MacBook guy. Let's go to the bar for this. I've always been a MacBook guy. I went to school for ITS. I know that Apple has tremendous security, and not only that, even if the security wasn't that great, it's so little utilized compared to Windows that it's less frequently targeted by bad actors. So I wanted it for the security alone, and this was way back in like 2010, 2012. My MacBook, my first one, was from 2011. Bought it brand new, paid like $1,300 for it. I was very proud of that, and I literally retired it like 2 years ago. It was 12, yeah, it was 2 years ago. So yeah, it was 12-year-old laptop. If I turn it on right now, it powers on within the first like 60 seconds still. Very impressive. And I bought a used, refurbished MacBook Pro from 2017 on eBay. This was 2 years ago, so it was already a little bit older back then. I didn't know, I did not know that Apple, for whatever reason, someone at Apple was like, let's redesign the mechanics of the keyboard, the internal mechanics of the keyboard. I don't know who on earth would ever authorize that, what they were smoking, but it is the most infuriating thing I've ever tried to use as far as technology goes. Every third or fourth letter types twice when I'm typing. I can't just type. I have to like actively look. If I type like this, it'll be okay. But if I'm just typing like a normal human being, it types double letters all the time. It's a mess, huge mess. So if you guys are ever in the Discord and I'm like just chatting and like half the words have like doubled up letters where they're not supposed to be, it's because of this trashy MacBook. Kwame said I had a MacBook Air, but the battery kept out of me. I replace all my own batteries and stuff like that. That's one of the things that I do is like miscellaneous computer repair and stuff like that. I do a lot of phone screens too. I think Philly does as well. Cheers, guys. Welcome. Kwame said I'm going to set up an AI agent with it to trade crypto for me. Let me know how that goes. That's actually sounds like a fun idea for a bit on the stream. I think that'd be cool. Anyways, Apple's at 261. Let's see if this... I'll actually mark it where we checked it. MacBook Neo. MacBook Neo. Level. Let's see how it does. Okay. Yeah, I'll give them that 4 cents. Okay, anyways, ETH is up 1.87% on the day. 4-hour time frame looks gorgeous. Let's try to get above that 2360 next because that was clear resistance back here. Solana doing good as well, up 0.13 on the day, but $84.94 holding its own. We do have mild concern with this being something of a ascending wedge, which I think is usually bearish. So let's see if that breaks one direction or the other. What's going on, Billy? Happy Saturday, my friend. I feel like I'm supposed to be looking at something else. Oh, yes. Guys, go vote in the poll in the chat, and we are going to start trading on stream. And Kwame said, I think their stocks are going to do well. Q4 holiday season, this MacBook for $600 is a good deal. That is actually a really good deal. I like to buy used refurbished, man. I got my, even though it sucks, $300. If I take it to a Genius Bar, they'll fix the stupid keyboard. I don't know why I got to take it to a Genius Bar. I'm assuming they just swap it out with like the original keyboard mechanics. I still don't know whose idea that was. It's ridiculous. Anyways, $84.99 on Solana. Let's see if we can catch a bid, get above 86. We're struggling with 85 right now, but we haven't closed. And we're also holding above the moving average on the RSI. So there's potential. There's no red dots confirmed on Market Cipher, so we don't have to worry about that. Total 3 is down 0.09% on the day, currently trading at 715.31 billion. Same setup as Solana, but we're above 711. We're trying for 720. We're at 715 right now. Arbitrary number every 5 billion or so, you know. It's a little mild level of concern. We can use it for cope as well if we want. But let's try to get above 720. It's very clear resistance, recurring theme. We got 1, 2, we'll call it 3, 4, 5, 6 resistance, and then a bounce right there. Bounce right there. Support resistance, turn support, or turn resistance, whatever. We got to get above 720. What's going on, crypto spaces? ADA is down 1.69% on the day, currently trading at $24.99. I actually traded this green candle right here. I think I got above, just above 5%. And if you guys remember the compound trading challenge, which I think we're going to be able to start up officially very soon here. The compound trading challenge is kind of hinged on 5%. So with that, and I guess it's not specific to ADA, it's actually specific to assets that have like momentum that you can actually like measure, find and measure and actually build off of. We need momentum to trade, or at least I need momentum to trade personally. You guys can trade however you want to trade. Everybody trades differently. If you do want to trade without KYC, there are some links in the description. My preferred site is BitUnix. Entirely up to you. It is gambling though, so treat it as such. Don't play with more than you can afford to lose. I'm not a financial advisor. But the compound trading calculator is what we used. Say you started with $50 and you made 5% a day. And in crypto with leverage, and again, this is very dangerous, so I'm not saying this is easy by any means. If you did 5% per day for 6 months, compounding, include all days of the week, yes, daily reinvest rate 100%, additional contributions none. You started today. After 6 months, you would have $377,000. That is compounding interest. You start with $50. You make, what is 6 months in days? 6 times 30? 180. If you make 185% profit trades in a row, you will have $377,000. Now that does mean that you cannot have a single losing trade. So it is dangerous to think that, oh my gosh, it's this easy, but it's possible. This is just to show you that it's not impossible. Very, very hard, but with a proper stop loss, risk management, you don't want to be trading every single day if you don't have to. Me personally, I don't. I hardly trade at all. But 185% profit trades, compounding, I feel like it's entirely doable, man, especially with how long I've been in this stupid space. It seems entirely possible. What's going on, G-Immortal? Professor Oak. Catch any Pokemon today? No, it's been a while, man. They've been cleared out. Every time I go to the vending machine, it's cleared out. Lunar Entity said, people that scalp chop are crazy, in my opinion. Chasing pennies with the VWAP. It's fun, though. It's fun to try. It is fun to try. I don't trade with a lot of my portfolio. I usually, if at most at any time, I'll have $100 in my account. Crypto Spaces said, as long as it's possible, you can do it. Exactly. Cheers, guys. Cheers to that. Yeah, ETH is not playing games today. Gold and silver after hours completely flat. So I'm not expecting anything crazy there. DXY doing its thing. 98.69. We're waiting for tomorrow evening. For stock futures to open after hours are a mixed bag. Let me check really quick on after hours. Stock market after hours, we have a red Dow down 0.49%, a green S&P up 0.01%, and a green Nasdaq up 0.32%. So that's exciting. Crypto Spaces said, just like compounding gains from project to project. Exactly. Or compounding in the stock market. That 10% a year, after however many years, you'd be a millionaire, depending on how much you invest. Let's see what's next. ADA, we went over. SNEC is down 0.55% on the day, currently trading at 4481. We're looking for that 4.5 to hold it. Midnight, down 0.09. This thing's flatlining. Is it going to continue down, or is this the bottom per se? Is it going to catch some relief to the upside? I don't know. Crypto Spaces said discipline and risk management is key, and that's a lot easier said than done, you know. Otherwise, we'd all have, I don't know, free courses and just millions of people doing the same thing as us, and we'd all be millionaires in like a compound. We'd have our own like micro nation in Texas or something. Elite traders compound, you know. All right. Yeah, Midnight's an interesting one, man. This thing is, I mean, it's holding 4 cents. Is it going to break below that? I don't know. It's just so weird the way that this thing trades. It feels fake. And I hate saying that, but it does. Maybe it's in a gigantic wedge. That'd be cool. It might be, actually. It is consolidating. There's definitely potential here. I actually never noticed this. It looks really good. Let's see what it does, though. XRP is actually break even for the day, not down or up. It is $1.35 and 58/10 It is kind of playing with this potential upper trend line resistance, and that's even that's kind of sloppy. I'm not entirely sold on it. It looked good back here, but now that we've seen the breakout and this weird little choppy, it just kind of seems like a little channel to me now. So I'm not really sold on any specific pattern. Kwame said I bought some of that midnight BS. Did you see, Kwame, did you witness the Welcome Binance Wick? This, I probably almost passed out from like the pressure inside my head from laughing so hard. Charles posted on X and he like was live streaming and it was like, Welcome Binance! And he was like really hyped up and I was like, oh, sick. I'm gonna go check the chart. I bet you it's pumped up a lot. That's really cool. And I look, and no joke, he said welcome Binance like here, and it just went just an explosive dump, and I was just started cracking up because at the time there was all the rumors like anytime Binance listed anything, it just dumped like crazy. Happened with gold, happened with oil, happened with midnight. And that was just the icing on the cake. It was like, welcome Binance. And I was like, oh, cool. I go check the chart and it's just bam. I was like, whoa, that's great. Charles can't catch a break. He really can't, man. He can't. I got to say, though, I'm not going to lie. With Cardano's performance, price-wise, regardless of whether or not you want to focus on price or you're in it for the tech or whatever, you got to realize price brings users. And pivoting to a whole nother chain or adding a whole nother chain to your workload, it just seems entirely irresponsible to me. And it does not look good. I don't know who advised that or if he was just like, I can do whatever the hell I want. But there's a reason it has the optics that it has. And there's a reason people are reacting the way they are. And this also does not help. This is the track record so far of Charles coins. And that's not good. And I hope I'm wrong. But, you know, the facts are out there. Everyone can see. And right now it looks like the coins that he does go down. So, it is what it is. H-bar. Showing. Same price it's been for a week. So, let's see what this thing does. Maybe even a couple weeks. SWE. Down 0.21. SWE's actually doing pretty decent. It's got that same Solana thing going on with the little funky inverse head and shoulder. Kind of like the inverse BART going on right here too. We'll see if that turns into anything neckline-ish. Probably right around like 9.7, 9.8. We want to get above $1 is the goal, I think, with SWE specifically. Kwame said, I wouldn't be surprised if he just went ghost. He tried to. He said he was going to like leave X. And he's like, it was really negative and whatever, and he's come back already. He's on X all the time again, so. Lunar Entity said the run-up was a big red flag. Oh, 100%. It was another one of those that launched way too high. I was not doing it. Gourmet said, Kwame, how much RAM did you get on it? You know, my mom bought a iMac way back in the day. Like 2009, 2010. No joke. They sold her on a 1 terabyte hard drive, but also a 1 gigabyte RAM. I don't even know they made that. I mean, I know it was a long time ago, but 1 gigabyte is crazy. I was looking at the specs because I have it. I have this ancient iMac. And I was looking at the specs. I was like, that can't be right. This says 1 gigabyte. I have an ancient iMac with 1 gigabyte of RAM. That's crazy. That's probably worth $1,000 right now. The way the RAM prices are. Lunar said, I'm so surprised Midnight Pop seemed a little too late to short-lived privacy narrative. Oh yeah, that was kind of funny too. They were out of nowhere. They were like, we've been working on this for years. I was like, since when? It was weird. I don't know. The whole situation's fugly to me. That's why I'm a SNEC guy. SNEC is, I don't know. I prefer it. The meme coin on Cardano has more revenue than Cardano. That's pathetic. Or a testament to SNEC, to the team. Ondo, this thing has been so tremendously sideways. I got really nothing left to say about this either. Is it going to go up or down? I have no clue. Genuinely at a loss for words. I've never seen something so sideways, so consistently. Like, this is a flat line. It's never even done this in the past either. Like, it's chopped, but it still had some volatility within the chop. This is just a flat line. It's crazy. Arrow. This thing has been popping off. You got a big fat red candle. It's down 2.99% in this candle alone on the 4-hour time frame. But it's still up 0.68% on the day. That shows you how much it went up. You do have a tweezer top. So there is short potential here. Maybe. It's very dangerous. I'm not a financial advisor. So chill. But see, it's already recovering some of that. 38.30 on the price. Let's see if it goes, I don't know, is it going to retrace down to 35? Or, I mean, was this really a resistance line? It kind of looks like it was, doesn't it? You got first resistance 2, 3, 4, maybe 5, and then 6, and then it finally broke that. Is it going to retrace all the way down to 34? That'd be crazy. Crypto Spaces said Ben Cowan going back and forth with moon landing deniers is the bottom. Right. Kwame said they might come out with a 12 gigabyte next year, but 8 is the max with the Neo. Okay. That's interesting. I don't know what specs I have on my MacBook. It's just kind of a mobile unit for me now, which is sad. But, you know, I built a big boy PC. So, is what it is. It's like a glorified phone at this point. The MacBook. Avalanche. $9.38. It's staying above 9, which is awesome. That's a big deal. We want to get above 950 next. That's the next target. As of right now, we're struggling, man. We got our peace talks in Iran allegedly going bad. Did I say Avalanche or Chainlink? Avalanche, 938. Chainlink is above $9 finally. Seemingly rejecting our orange trend line, which is our uptrend. This was pretty obvious. I'm going to stick with that, actually. And we're having trouble getting back inside there. So we do want to get back inside there. And that level seems to be approximately 927. Let's get above 930. And we can call it a safe zone. Kwame said they might. Yep, we read that. Lunar Entity said, which L1s do you think will still be here in 2030? Gourmet said, oh, wow. Okay, cool. I assume you have to have it running 24/7. You can't shut it down if you want to use the trading bot, right? Oh, that's what I would imagine. Yeah, that's why I think the Mac Minis were so good, because those are all solid state from what I understand. CryptoSpaces said, let's be honest, they never went to the moon back then. I just can't believe it. I have no idea. Did you guys know that Jack Black's mom was actually, she worked for NASA? She did the math or something. She was a mathematician person. She did the math or something. I thought that was kind of cool. Regardless of how you feel about the moon landing, you gotta admit Jack Black is one of a kind. Gem. Solid human being. What L1s do you think will still be here in 2030? That's such a hard question. Doge 9317, bottoming is maybe, I don't know, it's at the bottom of its little range right now ish. Our credit spreads continuing to the downside. It's promising. When does that print again? We haven't even gotten Friday yet. It's weird. Okay. Anyways, let's go check out CoinMarketCap and see what L1s we think are going to be around next or in 2030. Perhaps next cycle. Gourmet said Lunar, I think Sol. Kwame said, Gourmet, I saw a video where you can shut it off, but you have to use a website called Lightrail or something like that. I have to do more research tomorrow when I set it up, but I will leave it on if I have to. Just be careful setting that stuff up. Make sure you don't give it access to any of your current wallets. I would make new wallets for all this stuff, and just be very careful. Bob Franklin said NASA and SpaceX are massive deceptions. They might be. They might actually be. I think I posted on my X. Oh, no, that has nothing to do with anything. My bad. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's definitely interesting, and it's gotten me. We'll go conspiracy. Let me get the. We'll go to the bar, and let me get the tinfoil on. So here's my theory. I'm not saying I believe any one thing or other. I haven't really made up my mind, but let's say you figure out the rocket. You have money and whatever. You figure out a rocket, and you go to space, or you send a rocket to space. My theory is that the men in black, if you will, it could be the government, it could be NASA, it could be whoever, I don't care. They show up and they're like, listen, we know that you sent a rocket to space, we know that you're space capable. We're not going to tell you they can't do that, but we are going to let you in on some stuff. And with that, you got to kind of play ball. You're going to file for grants, we're going to give you a bunch of money, and you're just going to shut your mouth, okay? And you're like, okay, what? Space doesn't exist, or whatever, you know, they give you this crazy spiel. They're like, aliens are real and they're keeping us captive, or whatever it is that's actually happening. They tell you, and then you just play ball. You're like, okay, I'm a rocket guy, I'm sending rockets, here I am, Elon Musk, I'm sending rockets to space, or like, I'm NASA, or I'm Jeff Bezos, my wife and Katy Perry just landed in the desert. They're totally fine though. and the government gives you a shit ton of grant money just for you to keep your mouth shut and to stay in compliance. I feel like that's not that crazy. That's my little conspiracy rant for the day. And again, I don't fully believe that myself, but it's an idea that I've had. I feel like we're supposed to question things. Otherwise, nobody would learn anything ever. Kwame said, I'm only going to give it access to my BTCC exchange and the funds I have on there. Make sure you don't have any, if you're going to give it to an exchange that you have funds on, make sure there's no cards connected to it or anything like that, no bank account. Like, disconnect all stuff from your, like, private finances. I would be very, very careful with the AI stuff. Not a financial advisor, but just extra security. Make sure there's no way for it to extract from anything of yours. But I'm not a financial advisor. HQZ said, I had one Litecoin and I sold it. Don't think 20 bucks is enough to retire on, right? Lunar Entity said, I think the NSA is behind the flat earth stuff. Best way to control the opposition is to create it, right? Okay. Let's get back to it. What L1s do we think are going to be around in 2030? Well, we've seen, obviously, Ethereum. XRP, I feel like, isn't going anywhere. Binance isn't going anywhere. I feel like we've seen Solana die and come back. So that's 4. Does Doge? I think Doge has its own chain. I'm not going to say that, though, because I really have no idea if it has its own chain or not. I would love to think Cardano. I want to say Cardano. But I'm not going to. I feel icky. I guess that's it. It's just those 4 that I would put money on those sticking around. For sure. And then Cardano is my 5th maybe. I refuse to acknowledge Tron. Kwame, I refuse. I'm sorry. I'm gonna be that I'm gonna be that annoying guy. I am. Very, very annoying guy. Oh, I wanna check something. I'm gonna type something in the chat and see if it works. Did it work? No? No? Nothing? I don't think it works. Shit! What if I do all lowercase? Yeah, it's supposed to be exclamation point. Well, that's stupid. I'm supposed to have a bot that, like, helps me with my chat. It's not working. Crypto Spaces said Binance definitely will crash in the future. I just can't prove it yet. Oh, I don't think so. Doge does have its own chain. Okay. Hyperliquid is a chain. That's fine. I tried to do Nightbot. I guess I didn't do it right. Okay. Bitcoin 73.82. Let's get to the news segment, I suppose. I guess before we get to the news segment, this little guy in the bottom right corner right here, this little total assets. If you guys look in the description, you will see. Let me just pull it up. I'll just pull it up. In the description of the live stream, you will see right here, deposit Bitcoin to the community trading account, deposit ETH to the community trading account, deposit Sol, and deposit USDC. And it tells you which network: Bitcoin via the Bitcoin network, ETH via the ERC20 Ethereum network, Solana via Solana, or USDC via Solana. And the reason I included these last 2 is because apparently, according to BitUnix, Bitcoin and ERC20 are very slow. If you guys want to fund the community trading account that we will use to trade on stream, you can do it with this way. I will not touch those funds for any personal anything. That will stay in there. If anything gets done with them, it is going to be voted on by the community. And the trades are going to be voted on by the community during the streams. So if you guys want to contribute, go right ahead. There's no rush. You guys don't have to contribute anything. I'm probably going to throw 20 bucks in it myself, just so that we can actually trade on stream. And that's going to be the whole purpose of the account, is going to be to trade on stream. And it's going to be fun. This should auto-update if we get any deposits during the stream. So I'm going to leave that in the bottom corner like that. And we'll continue the regular stream. If you guys want to donate something else, let me know. I can pull up the address, but it'd be cool if I didn't have to do that. So yeah, that's there. That's why that's there. Did you get Nightbot? Lunar Entity said, did ICP actually get back into the top 50? I thought it was heading for the 100s. That whole operation is weird. Beyond the chart stuff, that hacker team trying to leverage their network is mainly hitting their competition in cloud services. Smells bad in my opinion. Oh yeah, it's definitely weird. Are they back in the... I didn't even know if they fell out of the top 100. I think their best chance is... Oh yeah, it's in the top 50. What? Damn, that chart looks so bad. The last year looks bad. They must be burning supply. I'm wondering if they burned some supply. Is there a chart that shows the supply market cap? Maybe it didn't breach the top 50. Maybe the top 50 decreased and this just kind of maintained its level. If this looks like it maintained, I'd be willing to bet that number like 48, 49, 50 have dropped quite significantly recently. Number 48. Not really, actually. ICP is up 10%. I guess that's what did it the last 7 days. That's weird. Chart actually looks up too. Some stuff is up. Pepe is doing decent, up 7%. What else? Near's up 11%. I heard some good things about Near recently. I don't remember what it was though. Toncoin's up 17. Jeez. What is 48? Zcash is up 48%. Big boy moves. Hype is up 16. I feel like Hype is going to do so good. Okay. G Immortal said, JJ, no alt season, no meme season. I still am of the camp that we're still going to get up an alt season and a meme season, just because we've never not gotten an alt season and a meme season. Let's see what Grok said. We asked it about the MacBook Neo. MacBook Neo is Apple's new entry-level 13-inch laptop. Launched most affordable Mac ever. Doesn't have yeah. Oh no, hold on. A series chip from iPhone 16 Pro instead of what? Paired with Mac OS Tahoe, first the full Apple Intelligence support. Apple positioned it below the MacBook Air as a starter Mac with premium build quality at a shockingly low price. Okay. Ooh, I might have to buy one. I was just talking crap about the CPU. Is it worth? Yes, for the right person. If you need a reliable daily driver for school, work, browsing, streaming, light creative work, or just want a real Mac without spending $1,000, this is an easy recommendation. Reviews call it near perfect starter Mac laptop they'd recommend to family friends on a budget. It's Apple's smartest value play in years. It competes directly. I will say, yeah, Chromebooks drive me insane. I cannot stand Chromebooks, and the the lack of continuity in the Windows laptop world has literally kept me entirely out of the Windows laptop market. I would rather just buy a Mac. I want the aluminum unibody, and I want a charger that isn't trash. And I know Apple iPhones are notorious for their bad chargers. People beat those chargers up. I have a charger for my phone that I bought for $5 from a gas station like 6 years ago. It's the same exact charger. It's in the same condition that it was the day that I bought it. So people that complain about the chargers breaking stuff, they're breaking those chargers. You can't have your phone charging and have your phone in your hand and just like you're dicking around with the charger all day. It's going to break. You know what I mean? But I might check this out. I actually quite like it. Is it worth buying the stock over? These are apples to oranges decisions. One is a consumable product you use, the other is an investment, but the MacBook Neo launch has been viewed very positively by Wall Street as a major growth catalyst for Apple. Analysts highlight the huge untapped budget laptop market. Mac installed base is only 260 million versus iPhone's 1.5 billion. The Neo could bring in millions for a first-time Mac users, expand the ecosystem, and drive high-margin services revenue. I will say, transitioning between my MacBook and the PC, really never had a problem with it. Obviously, when I learned the Mac operating system way back when. I was a little irritated. The worst thing was the X to close the windows is over here. But the rest of it, it's really easy to learn. Bottom line, have extra cash to invest long-term. Apple stock looks attractive right now with this launch plus AI features and other pipeline items as a tailwind, but stock investing carries risk. Depends on your overall portfolio time horizon, and I'm not a financial advisor doing your own research and consult one. Okay, that's rude, bro. You are my financial advisor in this case. Don't be a dick. Okay, so what else? I was going to ask Grok next. We were talking about alt season. Okay, yes. Is there going to be another alt season in crypto ever? A lot of people have lost faith and seem to think that another alt season is a pipe dream. What are your thoughts? And what reasoning? What is your reasoning behind those thoughts? The main reason people believe that is because this latest supposed alt season was mediocre at best. Almost. Is this too much? Non-existent. All right, let's see. Let's see what Grok says. I feel like I'm oversharing with Grok. Lunar Entity said, okay, hang on. Crypto Spaces said, before that, Gourmet said, who was asking about Chud Jack last week? It woke up again? Oh, shoot, did it? Let's go check. We got to check on Harambe as well. Chud Jack, up 42.69%. Ooh. If I had to guess, I would say it was probably JY's Adventure. He brings us the most primo memes. This is waking up again, ain't it? Look at that beauty. So I guess my biggest concern would be just the dissension. You got big, medium, small. It's like Goldilocks and the three bears. This is baby bear. You want it to be baby bull. And eventually grow up into an adult bull and just rip the bears into pieces. That's what you want. It is a meme coin. Exercise caution. We looked at the supply and all that stuff. I don't remember what I said. Just, keep an eye on the holders. Look at the bubble maps. Make sure that the majority of the people aren't holding, or the top 10 aren't holding the majority of the coin. Liquidity looks great, though. Liquidity compared to market cap is amazing. It's like 10%, which is unheard of. Okay. News segment. Lunar Entity said, it's just odd to me the hacks prove their tech works, yet all they are saying publicly about it, it was interesting. I just always assume foul play in crypto. Oh, 100%. Ask Gronk what he thinks will happen with alts if credit spreads unwind above 8% and begin to compress. Okay. All right, before we do any of that, let's go through a little bit of the news segment. 23 hours ago, Kobayashi letter said, Iran is struggling to fully reopen the Strait of Hormuz because it cannot locate all the sea mines it deployed and lacks the capability to remove them, which I thought was really funny. Shibo posted, very few people understand what is about to happen to the crypto industry. Everyone wants to dunk on Michael Saylor and Tom Lee. A massive pump like nothing we've ever seen before is about to happen. The vibes are slowly coming back. Alts are starting to heat up, and it's starting to look more and more like what we saw pre-2020 pump in 2019 after the pandemic when the recovery started. Be ready, get positioned, and you will be rich. I freaking hope so. Valley Market 10 hours ago said Trump announces the U.S. has officially begun clearing out sea mines from the Strait of Hormuz. Yay! We're suddenly capable of doing stuff there. U.S. to assist Iran in removing mines from the Strait of Hormuz. Also yay. President Trump says U.S. is clearing out the Strait of Hormuz as a favor to the countries all over the world. Yay. President Trump says massive numbers of empty oil tankers are heading to the U.S. to load up with the best and sweetest oil in the world. I don't know about sweetest, but We'll take it. Take it. One of the greatest moments in crypto Twitter history. This was really funny. Watch Guru posted way back when it happened that President Trump was going to announce 25% tariffs on steel and aluminum. And then Ray J responded and said, "Is Ethereum made of aluminum?" Because it don't. Which was really funny. Marty Party. How much are people spending on Anthropic tokens? Anthropic, in my opinion, is probably the greatest artificial intelligence company on the planet right now. Anthropic's annualized run rate revenue, ARR, which largely reflects what people and companies are spending on Claude tokens and related services, has exploded. Early 2025, around 1 billion. End of 2025, around 9 billion. February 2026, 14 billion. Early April 2026, over $30 billion. That's crazy. That is insane. Now we will get to Grok. We asked Grok if there's ever going to be an alt season. We highlighted the main reason is because the last alt season supposedly was really bad, crappy. It hardly even happened. Grok said yes. There will almost certainly be another alt season in crypto, though it may look different from the explosive broad rallies of 2017 or 2021, and it could be more selective or delayed than many expect. The widespread loss of faith right now is understandable and actually a classic contrarian signal, but calling it a permanent pipe dream ignores how crypto markets have always worked, through repeatable cycles of liquidity, psychology, and capital rotation, not linear maturation into Bitcoin only forever. Why the latest one, 2024 to 2025, felt mediocre or non-existent? You're spot on. This cycle's alt season was weak at best. Bitcoin dominance stayed stubbornly high, which is why I feel like we didn't have an alt season, peaking near 63 to 65% in 2025 before easing to 57 to 59% as of April 2026. And the altcoin season index, which flags when 75% of top altcoins outperformed Bitcoin over 90 days, has hovered in the low 20s to 40s range, deep in Bitcoin season territory. Key reasons it didn't ignite like past cycles: institutionalization via ETFs. Massive Bitcoin ETF inflows, tens of billions, funneled smart capital straight into Bitcoin as the digital gold safe haven, with far less rotation to riskier alts. This structurally changed flows compared to the retail-driven 2017-2021 eras. Macro and liquidity factors: higher for longer rates, capital dilution across thousands of projects, and a flight to blue-chip survivors, ETH and Solana, meant liquidity was selective, not broad. Alts underperformed as Bitcoin absorbed most new money. Narrative fatigue. Post-DeFi NFT hype, there wasn't a fresh story strong enough to pull capital en masse until very late, or not at all, in a sustained way. This matches what analysts and on-chain data have shown: the old Bitcoin pumps alts explode playbook hit friction in a more mature market. Why another one is still coming? My core reasoning. 1. Bitcoin dominance is cyclical, not permanent. It has peaked and dropped sharply in every prior bull market, from 95% plus pre-2017 to under 40%, and similarly in 2021. Right now it's elevated 57 to 59, which is exactly the setup where rotation historically begins once Bitcoin stabilizes or sees mild profit taking. Alts offer the higher beta upside that institutions and retail chase in late cycle euphoria phase. 2. Bull market phases aren't over. We're still in the post-2024 halving bull window. These typically peak 12 to 18 plus months after the halving, often extending into the following year. Total market cap and sentiment can shift quickly with macro tailwinds, potential rate cuts, renewed retail FOMO, or Bitcoin hitting a plateau after its recent all-time high run. When greed returns, capital flows down the risk curve. It's happened every cycle. 3. Psychology and history favorite. The current alts are dead narrative is the same capitulation phase seen before every past alt season. Fear and greed at extremes, long accumulation in alts, and this time is different skepticism, are textbook precursors. 2017 and 2021 both had long Bitcoin-led stretches before the flip. 4. New narratives will drive it. Innovation doesn't stop. AI, crypto integration, real-world assets, RWAs, modular chains, DeFi evolution, or even matured meme coins will create fresh hype. Even in a mature market, speculation thrives. Liquidity just becomes more targeted to projects with real utility or viral appeal rather than pure shitcoin gambles. 5. Counter to the never again view. Yes, the market has matured. ETFs, regulations, institutions. Some analysts argue 2026 won't see a traditional broad alt season for those reasons. But different is not the same as dead. Selective rotations to top mid-tier alts or narrative leaders still qualify as alt season by any practice or by any practical definition. Wintermute and others have noted triggers like DXY weakness or Bitcoin consolidation could revive it. What it might look like and risks. Timing could spark in 2026. Some see Q2, Q3 patterns repeating past cycles, but expected to feel slower and more selective than 2021. Oh. Give me a second, guys. I just spilled some coffee. I'm a little bit upset that I lost some coffee, but I got napkins for that reason. So disappointing, man. Son of a bitch. Luckily, it didn't get on anything that's important. It's my first on-stream spill, I think. Okay. Damn phone. That's why I put it in other places. All right, let's get back to it. Hang on. I gotta drink some coffee now. I need an excuse. Let me fix my webcam as well. Delicious. Okay. Let's get back to it. I was in the zone, man. I was in the zone. All right. Timing, not financial advice. Okay, hang on. Let's start back over. Timing could spark in 2026. Some see Q2, Q3 patterns repeating past cycles, but expected to feel slower and more selective than 2021. Not every alt pumping 100x. Not financial advice, this is probabilistic based on history, on-chain metrics, and market mechanics. Not a guarantee. Black swans, recession regulation could delay it further. Risks to the thesis. If Bitcoin dominance keeps climbing, some fear it never drops sustainably again due to ETFs/nation-state adoption. Or if alts keep getting diluted without real adoption, the broad version stays muted. Bottom line, the faith loss is real, because this cycle disappointed relative to hype, but declaring alt season a pipe dream forever is like saying stocks never rotate after a tech rally. Crypto's DNA is volatility plus narratives plus greed cycles. Another one is coming, likely evolved, but very much alive. Stay patient, focus on strong fundamentals/narratives, and watch Bitcoin dominance, the altcoin season index, for the first real signs of rotation. History rhymes, even if the tune changes a bit. I like that. That's actually really nice. Okay. Billy said every alt season is just going to be a lower high. That might be the case. That's just because there's too much actual altcoin dilution. Maybe once the bad actors realize they can't extract liquidity as easily, they'll peace out. And we'll get some peace and quiet. Okay, Lunar Entity said, ask Rock what he thinks. Okay, let's ask it in the same vein, I think. What do you think will happen if two altcoins, if credit spreads unwind above 8% and begin to compress? Excuse me. All right, let's see what Grok says for that. Bitcoin is continuing to be red. Let's continue the news segment while we wait for Grok. U.S. private equity firms have massive exposure to software. A near record 49% of all private equity deals now target software and technology service companies. I think we read this last night. By comparison, healthcare represents 14% of PE deals, less than a third of the size of software exposure. The private equity industry has never been this exposed to a single sector. So I guess this is the only thing that's really surprising to me, especially with AI kind of nerfing software as a service. This is very interesting to me. So I'm wondering if they're maybe targeting AI specific software. I don't know. Next, we've got gold reshaping the global financial system. Central bank gold holdings surpassed valuation adjusted US dollar reserves assets for the first time on record. Adjusted USD reserves remove the interest earned on holdings like US Treasuries, showing only how much central banks are actively adding to their dollar reserves. Official gold reserve assets are up to a record 3.87 trillion, or around 140 billion, above valuation. Adjusted US dollar reserve asset at 3.73 trillion. Since 2022, gold reserve assets have tripled, driven by a record central bank accumulation and surging prices. At the same time, USD reserve assets have declined 300 billion. The trend accelerated after the seizure of Russian assets in 2022, new sanctions, and growing geopolitical uncertainty. World central banks are accumulating gold at an unprecedented pace. Spooky. We've got President Trump says the U.S. now begun the process of clearing out mines from the Strait of Hormuz. Several Navy ships were just seen crossing the Strait of Hormuz. There's a community note, which I feel like is not necessary. 2 U.S. destroyers transited the Strait of Hormuz on April 11th per CENTCOM to support initial mine clearance efforts, but Iran denies the transit and states the strait remains closed. U.S.-Iran peace talks continue in Islamabad. I don't think that this is a necessary note at all, but it's whatever. Trilateral talks between U.S., Iran, and Pakistan have officially begun in Pakistan. That was 10 hours ago. U.S. delegation includes J.D. Vance, Jared Kushner, and Steve Witkoff. Iranian delegation includes Foreign Minister Domo Arigato, Mr. Rabato, and Parliament Speaker Ghalibaf. We are covering in real time. Learn Entity said, IGV is your software industry ticker. I think it actually looks attractive despite the chaos. Marty Party's been tracking IGV versus Bitcoin because Bitcoin very closely follows IGV, and IGV just had a huge drop. Jeez, this thing sold off. What in the world? I'm wondering if this is that new Claude Mythos sell-off. Interesting. What sucks even worse, too, is this looks like a head and shoulder. Is AI going to kill cryptocurrency? It doesn't look good. It don't look good to me. That's a little spooky. Is it an official bear market yet? It's gotta be, right? Yeah, it's gotta be. Yeah. Whoa! Oh my gosh, 37% is crazy. Wow, it does. You know what? Look at the volume too. Whew. Given the circumstances, we know software is not going to go away. It might change dramatically. So 37% retrace might be overblown. Not everyone's going to want to, spin up their own freaking software with the AI and have to pay for a million stupid tokens to do it. People are just going to pay for software. So I suppose you could actually make the argument too that it's kind of skewer the average price over here between this and this. That's kind of your midpoint where it's kind of trying to hold support. That's interesting. You also got this little guy too. I don't know. We've had big retracements before. We know that for a fact. This last one was actually 2021. The bear market right here, 2021 to 2022. What did that happen? That took how long to bottom approximately? Almost 365 days. Perfectly. 400 days right there. Let's go 400. From our peak, go 400 days out. Man, that would suck, wouldn't it? Looking at December. I guess Christmas would be fun. We might be stuck waiting until 2027, boys. Might be the perfect accumulation. We'll have to wait and see. Bitcoin's chilling, though. We're chilling. Especially on the daily. Let's continue. Actually, let's see what Grok said. If the U.S. high-yield credit spreads widen sharply above 8% and then begin to compress, altcoins would likely face a brutal short-term sell-off followed by a potentially powerful, though selective, recovery, acting as classic high-beta risk asset in a macro-driven cycle. This isn't guaranteed, and timing severity matter, but the historical and empirical relationship between credit spreads and crypto is clear. Widening spreads signal risk off, stress that hits speculative assets hardest while compression reflects returning liquidity and risk appetite that favors alts upside volatility. Quick context on the scenario. 2.9 to 3.13, historically tight and reflective of strong risk appetite, solid corporate fundamentals, and easy financial conditions. A move above 8% would represent a dramatic unwind of 500 plus basis points from here, echoing crisis level stress seen in 2008. Spreads hit 20%. Wow. Early 2020 pandemic, 10 to 20%, or severe 2022 episodes. This isn't a mild correction. It's a sign of a heightened default fears, liquidity crunches, or recession risks, often triggered by macro shock. Begin to compress means spreads start narrowing back down as conditions stabilize, Fed easing better data or policy support. Flipping the script to risk on. Phase 1, spreads widen above 8%, severe risk off mechanics hit alts the hardest. Altcoins, speculative assets, amplify. Okay, so everything would dump like crazy. What it would look like: cascading liquidations, funding rate collapses, liquidity evaporation on alt markets, 50 to 80% drawdowns in weeks, months, far outpacing Bitcoin or ETH as retail institutional weak hands capitulate. I like that they think that there's retail still in the market. That's cute. Spreads begin to compress, rebound, and potential alt outperformance. The opportunity setup. Historical precedent. They've blown out 800 or higher than heightened forward returns, risk strong, blah, blah, blah. Crypto Bitcoin has shown similar cycle correlation with high yield credit. Bullish periods align with tight risk on spreads. Post compression phases in past cycles often coincided with alt rotations and outperformance. Alt-specific edge. Alts are higher beta than Bitcoin, so they could lead to recovery rally, especially if fresh narrative. Ignite amid cheap liquidity. However, one key study notes crypto asymmetry. It suffers more on widening than it symmetrically rebounds on compression, possibly due to retail dynamics still in full risk-on environments. The rotation effect often overrides this for selective alts. Compression could act as a catalyst for the next leg up, potentially reigniting alt-season dynamics, selective, not uniform 100x pumps once Bitcoin stabilizes. Overall reasoning, beta and psychology, data narrative, risk to this outlook if widening, prolonged deep recession, recovery delays, or if this time is different due to crypto-specific factors. Alts may stay muted longer, compression might not trigger broad alt flows if capital stays in Bitcoin quality names. This is probabilistic market analysis, not financial advice. Crypto remains volatile and black swans exist. Bottom line, the widening phase would test and likely break a lot of altcoin holders, reinforcing the pipe dream sentiment temporarily, but the subsequent compression could flip the script dramatically. Okay, there you go. All right. Surya said verbatim that crypto is just software at the Fed summit. I mean, yeah. Yeah, that actually checks out. Trilateral. Okay, we read that. Iran has formally submitted its 4 red lines for peace talks with the U.S. today, per Iranian state TV. 1. Authority over the Strait of Hormuz. 2. Payment of war reparations. 3. Unfreezing of all blocked Iranian financial assets. And 4. Securing a comprehensive regional ceasefire. In-person negotiations are ongoing as we speak. This should be a no. This should be an instant no, but Trump might want that because he's got tankers coming to the United States, so he might want that so that we can get that oil money. This, I think, is also ridiculous. Unfreezing of all blocked. That I don't care about. That I don't care about. So are they going to give up their uranium and all the crap that Israel supposedly wants? Adam Kobiesi, the man himself. Lunar said, I realize 8% is apocalyptic. Adam Kobiesi said, this chart says it all. U.S. tech valuations have compressed from 40x to 20x forward P over E. In weeks, tech valuations are now lower than they were when ChatGPT was announced. As the Iran war drives markets lower, AI is only getting bigger. Record highs are on the horizon. Let's do it. I'm ready for record highs, man. Gotta get another napkin out. I gotta restock my napkins. I never thought I'd have to use these. I'm still quite upset that I spilled my coffee. I'm not a spill guy. I don't spill ever. I guess that was the best case scenario. The way that it unfolded. Nvidia and Apple are cheaper than Walmart and Costco on a forward PE basis. So maybe we should buy some Apple here. Let's zoom out a little bit. Oh. Okay, I lied. I mean, did I lie? That's crazy. This thing's gone crazy since 2020. What the hell happened? It's been 6 years. Even since 2022. Look at this. If you would have bought January 2023, 100%? Are you kidding me? Am I insane? That seems insane. Excuse me. Lunar said, which is all signs are pointing to that ATL rally in credit, which is profound, but hey. All-time low rally? What does ATL mean? Atlanta? There's an Atlanta rally in credit? Tell it to me like I'm in 5. Alright, Bitcoin's still boring. Let's get back to it. Okay, breaking. Iran's President Pezeshkian releases a statement as in-person talks between the U.S. and Iran begin in Pakistan. This is a quote. The high-ranking Iranian delegation that has arrived in Pakistan is a staunch guardian of Iran's interests with all its might, and in this vein, it will engage negotiations with courage. In any case, our service to the people will not pause for a moment, and whatever the outcome of the negotiations may be, the government stands firmly by the people's side, he says. All right. Lunar said, yes, all-time low. Since the chart is inverse, breaking lows is a good thing for risk. Lower equals cheaper borrowing. So all-time low rally in credit means you think it's going to rally to the downside? Okay. Is there a level that it can't go lower at? Because it does seem like it's actually going to go lower, which is weird. We've seen it this low before. That seems to be the spot. When did it? See, this was 2008, 2007, and then 2008. Yeah, see, that got spooky. I hope that doesn't happen. That touch right there was 2007. And then it got crazy in 2008. What in the world? How did they stop that from happening? It seems like it's going to go there very fast. 2.4 is nothing. It's already dropped majority of the way. I don't think we break GFC lows, in my opinion. If we do, it'll be historic. That's spooky, man. I don't like that. That's freaking me out. All right, let's get back to the 4-hour. Cool. All right. Are we done with Grok? I think we're done with Grok, right? All right, Iran's, yep, we read that. U.S.-Iran negotiations in Pakistan have hit a stalemate over the control of the Strait of Hormuz. We knew this was going to happen. They're going to milk the crap out of their 2 weeks, I bet. Another round of negotiations between the U.S. and Iran will be held tonight or tomorrow in Pakistan, per Iranian state-affiliated media. Okay, so they are trying to work out a deal soon. That's nice. Let's hope that they don't peace out without a deal getting made. I don't care how busy these fuckers are. It's their job. The U.S. has discussed unfreezing Iran's overseas asset, including $6 billion held in Qatar, with Pakistani mediators. The $6 billion in Iranian funds now held by Qatar have been frozen since 2018. Missing context, these funds were indeed frozen in 2018. However, they were briefly unfrozen in September 2023. As part of a U.S.-Iran prisoner swap after the October 7th attacks, the funds were refrozen. Ah, okay. That's interesting. Wouldn't you get them unfrozen, take them out? Why would you leave them where they are? Am I crazy? Why would you, if they've been frozen in this place before, why would you leave them there? Is that not an option to take them? That seems weird. All right. Initial details are emerging as the U.S. and Iran conduct their first direct meetings since 1979. Details include 1. The Strait of Hormuz remains a point of serious disagreement. 2. U.S. military says 2 U.S. warships have transited the Strait of Hormuz today. 3. Mood swings are being seen on both sides in talks per Pakistani mediators. That's really funny. 4. The U.S. will be assisting Iran in removing mines from the Strait of Hormuz. 5. Talks are expected to continue tonight and may extend into tomorrow. We expect to receive much more detail in the coming hours. It's weird that there's so much job to just talk to people. That's kind of crazy that exists. I guess that's what I'm doing right now, though. But this is not my job. Not yet, at least. I would like for it to be my job one day. We'll see. What's going on, 88? Cheers, my friend. Happy Saturday. All right. Big. Oracle filed roughly 3,126 H-1B visa petitions across fiscal 2025 to 2026, while laying off thousands of employees, according to the New York Post. Wow. I actually just watched a whole video about this. Crazy stuff. Goodbye, U.S. jobs. Alert. Wholesale used vehicle prices rose 4.2% month over month and 5.7% year over year in March to $20,102, the highest level since mid-2023. I'm excited about this because I fully plan on buying and flipping a Saturn with like less than 50,000 miles on it, so that'll be cool. Do you think Bitcoin hits $80,000 this month? It's at 73.40 right now. It actually looks like it might recover this week. Let me check the chart or the poll right now. I'm going to end the current poll. I asked you guys, how do you think peace talks actually went today? 46% said good. They're baiting you into fear. 31% said great. Deal before market open. 15% said bad as reported. And 8% said bad. World War III continuing soon. Guys, if you haven't already, subscribe. Smash the like button. I appreciate you guys for being here. Let's do poll number 2. Let me see. What is poll number 2? Oh, yeah. It's the thing that we just read. Will we see 80K Bitcoin this month? Now, there's like 20-ish days left of the month. You got yes. The bottom is in. No more doom very soon. Yes, but then rejection, or no, but maybe next month. All right, bam. Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the poll in the chat. Will we see $80,000 Bitcoin this month? Your options are yes, the bottom is in, no, more doom very soon, yes, but then rejection, or no, but maybe next month. Let me know what you guys think. Back to it. Lunar said... There is one more chart for credit that could provide a clue if high-yield credit is heading to new all-time lows. The higher-rated credit may only retrace to 1997's easy money level. That would also include the U.S. since Moody's downgraded us to AA. Ah, okay, interesting. Bitcoin's getting a little green here. Just gonna add there. Lunar said also line charts are based on candle closes. Each plot is the closing value. Okay, I like that. Thank you for iterating. So you're locking 1997, you said. Ooh, okay. So this would be the same effect, same positive effect for crypto and stocks. Just risk assets in general. That'd be pretty cool. Let's see if it happens by July. Let's see. I don't know, man. That'd be sick. I'll take it. What do we think? I'm a big fan of this liquidity cycle theory. And the ISM is just consistently above expansion. But it seems like the market's taking its sweet time in actually flipping into recovery mode. Gosh, there's so much crap on this chart. I'm so sorry. So what do we got? Man, wouldn't that be a beautiful one? This fractal right here that we're kind of maybe a little bit following. That would be so sick. So this would lead us. See, I feel like this could even happen and the 4-year cycle still be intact. Because this doesn't really go up until December or January. And then we're finally catching a bid. So this might actually be how it plays out. Lunar said also, okay, ISM and credit have been sideways together if you've noticed. ISM suggests credit will break and go lower. I like that. I'll take that, man. I will take that. I'm ready. I'm so ready. I feel like I've been ready and waiting for way too long. I don't think I fumbled any bags, but who knows, man? Who knows? Let's see where this Bitcoin price takes us, though. Kwame said we need the Clarity Act passed. Yeah, I agree. I would like Clarity Act to pass as well. I feel like we could do without it, but it would be better if we had it, I think. Way better if we had it. And it seems like all parties are finally on board, so let's see if they can make something happen. Because before, Brian Armstrong, Coinbase was the big problem. And I understand his stance. He didn't want banks to screw us over, and it seems like maybe they've worked something out now, because he recently came out in support of it. Okay. New segment to continue. Update Q1 2026 marked, the largest quarter for revenue. I'm making up words. Q1 2026 marked the largest quarter for venture investment ever recorded, according to A16Z. Okay. That's crazy. That's insane. You know what blows my mind is this magic money that we just have coming out of our ass. It's actually quite funny. Kwame said trillions will flow into the market. I hate that Brian and the banks have a say-so. Oh yeah, it's definitely irritating. It makes sense that they would want their input, but they should not be able to say yes or no. They should just be able to say, I don't like that. And the government's like, okay, well, we don't care. We got your input. We put together a thing. We're passing it. That should be the way that it is. Lunar said overtime, sure. Kwame said, is it for the American people or the corpse? Exactly. What's going on, Giovanni? Anyone that wasn't here earlier, the bottom right here, this little guy, this total assets, this is for the community trading account where you're going to start trading on stream. I'm going to fund this account personally with probably like $20. But if you guys want to contribute, and this money, I will not use this money for anything. It'll be for trading on stream, and the community will be voting on the trades. If you want to contribute, you can deposit with these 4 addresses in the description. Deposit Bitcoin to the community trading account via Bitcoin Network. Deposit ETH to the community trading account via ERC20. Solana via Solana. Or USDC via Solana. And I did specify the Solana options are faster than ETH and Bitcoin according to BitUnix. But it is a BitUnix trading account. And if you guys want to trade on stream and you want to trade with a bigger chunk or you want to contribute to it for any reason, then that's your available option. And we do have a big boy window right here. Let me show you right here. Bam. For when we do start doing that. So up to you guys. Totally up in the air. There's no pressure. Don't feel obligated at all. Nobody has to contribute anything. I'll fund it with $20 and we'll trade on stream and it'll be fun. But if you guys want to contribute, that's there and available. And I plan on leaving those links in there for you guys. I thought I had a chat bot to where you could like summon the individual addresses, but it's not working. I don't know why. Hold on. The one was supposed to be fund trading, and I'm supposed to send that in the chat, and it's supposed to pop up, and it's supposed to be like, hey, here's the. Oh my gosh, it worked! Let's go! I couldn't get the other one to work earlier. What the heck? Maybe I didn't do the Discord one. Okay, well, there you go. If you guys want to know the addresses, it shows... Oh, I guess it broke it up, but you get the gist. That's so sick. I didn't know... The Discord one didn't work earlier. If anybody ever asks, they're like, how do I do this? Just do ! fund trading in the chat. I think anyone can pull it up. I'm not sure. Go ahead and give it a try if you want. I'm going to continue the news segment, though. I can't believe it worked. I tried to summon the Discord link earlier, and it didn't work. Okay, let's get back to it though. Bitcoin's chilling 73.53. I'm really excited for 75, man. I feel like 75 is gonna be a milestone. All right, New. The U.S. government sent 2.4 Bitcoin to Coinbase, almost nothing compared to the 328,000 Bitcoin still held. I don't know if they're getting rid of it. That is interesting that they sent some there, though. Didn't they sell some recently and it was like unauthorized from some seizure or something like that? Insight. Bitcoiners debate Iran using Bitcoin for oil tolls to bypass sanctions. Interesting. Bitcoiners debate Iran using Bitcoin for oil tolls to bypass sanctions. What? Wow. Update. Bitmine has 3.8% of the circulating ETH supply, now worth 10 billion. Let's go. I actually want to check because, well, I guess we're not going to see anything today, but I'm interested to see how this opens because ETH, at least today, was ripping compared to Bitcoin. We have surpassed the daily close, so now we're in Sunday's chart. But this candle, this 4-hour candle that we had yesterday, 2.95%. Meanwhile, Bitcoin was a measly 1.14, which is a lot for Bitcoin, but ETH outperforming did lead to some downside, or at least a potential top occurring on Bitcoin dominance. So we'll see if that sticks. But for now, we're watching and waiting. Okay, we got that. Dude, Tom Lee's going to be a legend for that one. I got to say, the difference between Bitcoin and Ethereum as far as market cap goes and treasury companies, it seemed like a no-brainer to go for ETH. Yeah, look at that. See, ETH past 24 hours is up 2%, while Bitcoin's up 0.27. ETH is outperforming Bitcoin by 10x. Oh, the Bitcoin maxers are like, what? No. Tisha said 75K a milestone. If it dumps back down later in the year, I'm calling you a price cheerleader. Don't get mad at me, though. Thank Ben Cowan. I mean, it's a psychological level. You can call me a price cheerleader. I didn't say it was going to go higher. I just said I want to hit 75K. I am definitely a price cheerleader, though. I feel like you gotta be, man. If you're not a price cheerleader, what are you doing here? Lunar said, Bitcoin and Ethereum both look weak on the 5-day, in my opinion. They need a reload to 70K. Test the waters. Yeah, the volume is definitely abysmal. It's definitely a low volume. Like, there's even divergence with the volume and the price. And that's just on the 4-hour. Let me go to the, you said the 5-day? I'll go to the weekly because I'm poor and I can't afford TradingView Premium. Where am I going with this? I am looking for the clean Bitcoin chart. Bam. Yeah. Yeah, it's unfortunately it's mimicking the little bear flag that it had in the past. It's got a little more volatility this time around at least, but I mean let's hope it's one of these and not one of these. Those are our two options right now. Okay. Let's see what happens, man. Bitcoin's so slow. It is very slow for sure. All right, ETF flows. Spot ETF saw broad inflows across major assets on April 11th. Bitcoin 240 million, ETH 64.9 million, Sol 11 million, and XRP 9 million. Very cool. Lunar said, sometimes use interior timeframes, 5-day for weekly, 4-week for monthly, to check underlying volatility that gets smoothed out. I don't mind the different time frames. What irks me is when people are weird about it. They're like, oh, your TA is going to be pretty much garbage because you're not using the 21-day. And they like, it's like some random arbitrary time frame that you know that they got from some like paid group where the guy's like, well, this is what all the hedge funds use, so you're not going to make any money unless you're using the 23.5-day time frame chart. And if you guys want to sign up, make sure you use my TradingView referral so that I get a little kickback from that, because you cannot access the 23.5-day without TradingView Premium. Make sure you subscribe. Join my paid Discord group and the Patreon, and help me pay for my groceries. Silly, dude. It's just silly. But yeah, I like if people actually utilize like proper time frames, it's totally fine. It's just when people get weird about it and they insist that theirs is the way to go, the only way. And it's always the weirdest number, man. It's always so weird. 21 day cracks me up every time. Okay. XRP, little mediocre. Has XRP had a negative day yet? I remember for the longest time it was nothing but positive nonstop, dude. Nonstop. Cointelegraph posted big strategy bought 3,468 Bitcoin via Sturch. Very cool. Update to Bitcoin added over $7,000 in just 2 weeks. Most of it occurring in the past few days. Very cool. This is actually pretty epic, I'm not going to lie. Interesting, the majority of Bitcoin supply hasn't moved in years. Total supply held by long-term holders. Accumulation, we got bear market. What the heck's a bear market? Cycle all-time high. Okay. Interesting. What is LTH? Long-term holder distribution bull market. Okay. Yeah, see how much shorter it was this time around? That's why I'm not buying it, man. No, that's 2021. Okay. So this is like a weird chart. They're really going back on that, aren't they? Trump, we have more oil than the next 2 largest oil companies combined. Wow. Massive numbers of completely empty oil tankers, some of the largest anywhere in the world, are heading right now to the United States to load up with the best and sweetest oil and gas anywhere in the world. We have more oil than the next 2 largest oil economies combined. And higher quality. We are waiting for you. Quick, turn around. President Donald J. Trump. Bear market. I think that's actually supposed to say bear market. Yeah, M and B are not next to each other. There's an N in between M and B on the the keyboard. Okay, World Bank Group. This is what kind of threw me for a loop earlier. I read this and I was like, why is there just random groups with like hundreds of billions of dollars? That's weird. World Bank Group said it could quickly deploy 20 billion to 25 billion to support economies impacted. Economies impacted by what? Exactly. Because my economy has been very much impacted. 88 said, guys, such a tool. Huge. Bitwise added ticker BHYP to its hyperliquid ETF filing, signaling a potential launch soon. Very cool. Japan approved an additional $4 billion in subsidies to accelerate its domestic AI chip push. Hell yeah. Iran is already using stablecoins to facilitate trade in oil, weapons, and commodities. Let me check the chat. Sometimes I use interior. Okay, Tishu said a few weeks ago, Gareth Soloway thought Bitcoin could go as high as 80K-ish. Also, CryptoFace is getting a little bullish, so it might happen. Okay. I'm 50-50 on CryptoFace. He charges way too much for his indicator. It's insane. He seems like a cool dude, though. He's just greedy, I think. I feel like everybody gets greedy eventually. Lunar said, I've been bullish since 62K, 84K futures gap test has been the target. Let's go. That is actually the CME gap is a thing that we've been paying attention to. Anew, Iran is already using stablecoins to facilitate trade in oil, weapons, and commodities. What happens if people stop using cash and only use stablecoins? Like, I guess the money would be locked up to back the stablecoin. That's an interesting theory. New, the CFTC is positioning itself as a potential primary regulator for crypto markets. Michael Pasalaka posted, thrilled to be part of the team that pairs deep CFTC expertise with private sector experience ranging from major law firms, blockchain ass, and fund DeFi. Tishu said CF is more of a trader. He's kind of an a-hole too. Arrogant might be a better word. I don't know, but I like him sort of. I think arrogant is a better word. Yes, CryptoFace is one of the ones that I don't hate. I guess hate's a strong word as well. He's one of the ones that I don't just like blindly dislike. Like, I feel like I could sit down and have like, I feel like in person he'd be really cool, dude. Cowan? I don't know. I feel like in person, Cowan seems like the kind of guy that wouldn't touch anybody. You'd go to shake his hand and he'd be like, "No, I'm sorry, I don't touch. We don't do touching." And he like talks to his wife. He's like, "Honey, did you tell them I don't do touching? You were supposed to tell them that I don't do touching. We don't touch. We don't touch. We have to leave. I can't be here anymore. He just tried to touch me." I don't know, maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm the only person that thinks that. I feel bad. He reminds me of my cousin. I think that's why. He reminds me of my cousin. My cousin's a little bit like that, so. Chris, if you're watching, I'm sorry. You give that vibe. Okay. Mark Chadwick, the man, the myth himself. This chart can't make it any more obvious that crypto's about to explode. The Fed has skyrocketed Treasury bill holdings to 400 billion plus. The chart is vertical. MACD shows the last time it was this aggressive was 2020, right before crypto went parabolic. Now stack it. Fed balance sheet expanding again. Around 18 billion weekly injections. Treasury buybacks record 15 billion. T-bill purchases at 381 billion plus. PMI back in expansion. This is how liquidity enters the system. It starts in the bond market, moves into equities, then flows into crypto. We've seen this exact setup before. We're not late. We're early. Tishu said, yeah, Ben seems kind of plastic, lol. He's still cool in his own way. Like I said, he's a smart guy. He's basically built an empire with his brand. So part of my feelings might just be cope. Mark Chadwick. I don't think people understand what's about to happen. The Fed is pumping liquidity, and it's a big reason markets are pumping. This week alone, the Treasury drained 78 to 106 billion from the TGA, cash moving straight into the banking system. Plus, the Fed's balance sheet has stabilized after quantitative tightening and even ticked up modestly to 6.69 trillion. Nice. That's actually a sick number. Quantitative tightening is over. Liquidity conditions are turning supportive again. Buckle up. If I was a conspiracy theorist, and some might argue that I am, I would say this 6.69 is the Fed being like, listen, guys, we're about to send it. It's like the subliminal. They're like, are you watching? Oh, you're watching? Lock in. And I'm ready, man. I'm ready. So let's see what happens. Okay, I guess we should read the original post. Massive U.S. Treasury pumped, what is that, 88 billion in liquidity this week via TGA release. In just 2 weeks, Treasury has pumped 182 billion into the economy. Let's freaking go. We do like Scott Bessent. Kwame said, or F us, right? Jack the Rippler posted, be honest, guys, Bitcoin to 200K by 2029, yes or no? I do really, really like this chart, but it's heavily reliant on Bitcoin having bottomed. Bitcoin could very easily go down lower and modify this whole entire line. What's going on, Real to True? Cheers, my friend. Welcome. Happy Saturday. I spilled a big fat chunk of my coffee. I'm still a little bit butthurt about it. I'm gonna have to steam my desk mat. Luckily, I got these cheap ass McDonald's napkins that are like drier than dust. Okay. Crypto Rover posted, Bitcoin is pumping. Is the market expecting a deal after all? It was very odd. We were getting all these rumors of the stalemate and everything not working out with negotiations and stuff, and Bitcoin put in this big fat green candle out of nowhere. Tishu said, what are the cheapest exchanges to send USDC on Solana? Cheapest exchanges to send? I imagine, so usually sending is just cheap in general. When you buy is when it's expensive. I guess we should ask cheapest transaction fee to send USDC on Solana. What exchange has the I guess I'll ask Grok is what I'll do. Let's see what Grok says. Rather than actually going and checking. Okay. Ash Crypto posted, stocks are pumping 30x in a year while altcoins are down 98% from their 2021 high. 5 years of holding just to loose everything. Worst crypto bull market ever. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Real to True said, having one of my best scalping weeks. It's 100% because I'm taking 75% profits for my trades instead of holding or only selling 1/3. To scalp, you must sell. I learned the hard way prior. Hell yeah, Real to True. Cheers to that. I like that. I actually have made quite a few successful trades as well. You guys witnessed the Ray one yesterday. Today I made, I think, 5 or 6% on an ADA long. I caught the one green candle that ADA had. It was kind of crazy. Right here. I caught that exact candle. And I got up. Once I got to 5%, I was out. I was like, okay, I'll take my 5%. Because we know 5% compounding on $50 after 180 trades is $377,000. You got to be humble sometimes. You can't get nerdy and greedy and be like, well, I'm not going to take profit until I'm at 80% profit. That's sometimes you got to lock in. I'm not a financial advisor. That's just my personal preference. We're going to start streaming, or we're going to start trading on stream though. Regardless of what's going on in the market, I feel like there's plenty of momentum to be able to do something. According to Grok, Coinbase is the cheapest. You have approximately $0 USDC cost, and minimum withdrawal varies. Check in app. That's actually kind of funny. Do they change it from person to person? 88 said, where are the profits going? For my trades or for the community trades? It usually just stays where it's at. So in the past, with my personal account, whenever I try to double my account and then I would take half out. So it was kind of like a little revolving door bank account situation. And then I looked into the stupid compound interest thing and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm an idiot. If I had just been rolling my profits into the next trade, then I'd probably be a millionaire by now. And then the market tanked and everything sucks and there's no volatility to trade at all. So that's been the past year. Very upsetting. Tishu said, and the network fees? Yeah, that's what it's saying. You have withdrawal fee and the approximate cost. I think that's the same thing. Yeah, it's showing the same amount. And I'm assuming the network fee just varies. Like Solana's cheap. So I think that's up to Solana. I don't think that would change based on the exchange. Based on current data from withdrawal fee aggregators. Yeah, that's your fee. So I think the only thing that you're really looking for is like if you buy like $1,000 worth of SOL on Coinbase, you're going to look at their like 1 or 2% fee to make the purchase in the first place. Idiot said I'm going to send on Tron eventually. You better not. I looked at that too. I was going to do it. I was going to put it in the stupid thing in the description. Gourmet said, F Coinbase, they banned me and they wouldn't tell me why. Yeah, that's weird. Real to True said, how many years you been trading, JJ? 6? 5 or 6? I think 6. Tishu said Solana is cheap, but some exchanges charge a lot. I don't know if they charge a lot for the network fee. I've never seen that personally. I've seen charging a lot for purchasing. So like if I want to send anything from Coinbase, it's dirt cheap. Unless it's Ethereum. But maybe that's changed. And that's because of the Ethereum network fees specifically. But if I want to buy, if I have cash, or if I use my card, or if I'm even just trading on regular old Coinbase, if I have USDC and I want to convert it to something, the fees on Coinbase are atrocious. But it is, in my opinion, the best on-ramp. It might be cheaper than most. It's just, it starts to add up when you do all the math and you're like, oh, I'm paying, Coinbase is just getting between like 1 and 5% of literally all of the money that I put into crypto. So it sucks, but that's the best on-ramp that I've found, at least the most trustworthy. Maybe MoonPay might be cheaper. I've never really looked into alternatives, to be honest. I probably should maximize my input. But yeah, apparently Coinbase is the best. The Solana network fee itself is always tiny, usually less than a penny, so the exchange's withdrawal fee is what actually matters. Coinbase is ideal if you already hold or buy USDC there. You simply select Solana as the network when withdrawing. You said no USDC on Coinbase is 1-to-1? What do you mean? There's a fee though. Like if I have USDC on Coinbase and I want to convert it to Solana, then they will charge me. And it's a lot. If you have USDC on Coinbase and you want to convert it to Bitcoin, then they charge a lot. The fee on Coinbase is bad. But it's not as bad as most. Kwame said, check the wallet on the streams trading account when you get a chance. All right, let's see. All right, it shows nothing right this second. Let me go to transaction history. Yeah, it might take a minute. Yeah, so you guys can see this. Okay. We're going to go to, I think, spot account. Yeah, and then we can go to transaction history. I hate these little pop-up things, dude. I know how to use the exchange. We got nothing right now. We're waiting. Yeah, I would check your outgoing, see if it's pending still. Lunar Entity said, spread on Coinbase is average. It leads in subscription services, price gouging. Exactly, yeah. Tishu said USD to USDC 1-to-1. Send USDC on Solana. Coinbase very cheap, but on other exchanges usually much higher. So if I go to buy USDC, so you have to put the money on Coinbase first. That's where they get you. And that's, let me see, buy, sell, buy. I'm just going to buy USDC. USDC. And I'm going to say 100. Review order. Yeah, if I want to buy, there's a $2.44 fee. If I want to buy $100 of USDC with my debit card, then it's $2.44 fee. Out of control. Lunar said Circle has always had an argument with Coinbase. Kwame said, okay, some Bitcoin should pop up. It's completed on my side. Okay. I'll keep checking. Yeah, so far we're waiting. It does say, so I guess I can show you since we got it pulled up over here. If I go to spot account and deposit Bitcoin, you click on Bitcoin, and then when you go to select network, it says Bitcoin. See right here, it says minimum deposit, estimated arrival time, relatively long, which is why I put in the description that the Solana and Sol on Sol and the USDC on Sol is the faster option. If I show you guys that, even it said Ethereum was slow as well. If I do Solana on Solana, it says arrival time around 1 minute. And then same with USDC. USDC on Solana. Is it the bottom one? I don't remember. USDC on Solana right here. Estimated arrival time around 1 minute. So yeah, I don't know. Do you guys remember the other day I tried to deposit? I tried to deposit and it took like, I didn't even think it was on its, that was because of Coinbase though specifically. It was not because of BitUnix. Coinbase took, it actually canceled. I had to resend it at one point to try to get that deposit for that freaking short. I was so pissed. So yeah, is what it is. But we'll keep checking. Excuse me. Tishu said, I think it's because of the debit card transaction. ACH has no cost to me. Yeah, but that takes forever. I'm not a patient man. ACH is free. But is it really? Because you are paying time. Now, if you're buying stablecoins, then you don't care. But if you're trying to like FOMO into something, you're not gonna wait no 2 to 3 business days. You know what I mean? Lunar said, "Yep, they want ACH traffic." Kwame said, "Don't sleep on XRP. Don't sleep on Tron, apparently." Okay. Crypto Fergani. Oh yes, this is the segment that everybody waits for. Let me get into character. I'm being totally honest. If you're in your 20s or 30s, go all in this crypto bull run. Cut your expenses, block out distractions, fuck work-life balance. Do what you want. Do you want to be rich or not? This is the time to grind. Opportunities like this won't come again. I don't care if you listen or not, but for that one person who does, make it happen. Real to True said, was scalping easier 6 years ago? In general, scalping was easier 3 years ago? Up until about 2023, I want to say. I can point out exactly when everything got crappy. 2022 was when I made the most money in my life. Coming out of the bottom of the bear market. Right, the daily. Okay, yeah. So, this one, scalping was great here. Scalping was great here. And then right here, unless you were trading Bitcoin, scalping was garbage. This weird time, I don't know how or where I fumbled, but maybe it was 2024. It might have been just 2 years ago, but it got so odd. Let me look at Solana. Solana was like my star for the longest time. Yeah, see, look at this. Solana was great up until probably about here. That's 2024, yeah. And then it kind of seemed like it was staying the same price. And, you know, these are big moves, but it was so indecisive and weird. I think I quit right around here. I kind of stopped putting too much time and effort into it because it got to a point where I started losing money. And that was where you had to have the self-realization of forcing trades and, you know, trading with emotion and all that stuff. You got to go through that learning curve. So, but yes, it was most certainly easier back then. And that might not even be because of the market. That might have been for me specifically. Lunar said, scalping never changes, really. Liquidity does, though. Yeah. Giovanni said, me for real, after 41 hours on my work week. Right? Okay, let's get back. More crypto Fergani. Oh, yeah, we just read that one. Okay. Next, we got a lovely chart. Okay, with some, looks like MACD crosses. The new bull market begins today. We've been in a bear market for over 12 months. Every bounce since was just a trap. Liquidity vanished, retail disappeared, only the patient survived. Today was the final capitulation, the end of the old cycle. Today begins the next one. A new era of wealth creation starts. If you survive this bear market, you're about to make generational wealth. I've been here for more than 10 years, and I've called every major market top and bottom. A lot of people will wish they followed me sooner. The Sultan of Crypto. Lunar Entity said, the Sultan of Crypto. I love Fergani because every post starts a new bull market, right? It's so good, dude. It's so good. Like we had our perma bulls that we'd read every news segment. Fergani's the first one that's like a poet. He's like the Edgar Allan Poe of bull market. Edgar Allan Bull. All right. Everyone's a genius in a bull market until it crashes. Then they disappear. No tweets, no advice, no help. The truth is, you need to learn now, in the boring times, in the blood, because when things fly again, it's already too late to learn. You want to make it? Master patience. Buy early. Sell when it's loud. Ignore influencers like him. Watch wallets. The ones who make it next cycle aren't the ones shouting on X. They're the ones quietly stacking today. Be that person. This is actually the first one that is just blindly blanket great advice. I'm not going to lie. I actually thoroughly enjoy this one. Then we got our coin confessions. There was no bar chart today, which was kind of weird. I don't know if they're just out because it's Saturday or what's going on. No clue, honestly. Let's check our deposits again really quick. Lunar said, "You're going to be rich. Follow me now." Right. Did you see the Harry Dresden's doorbell thing? It's wild on YouTube. I did actually. I watched Charlie talk about it. Dude, I can't believe it's real. The guy was definitely, I'm assuming, either he just tried drugs for the first time in his life, or he is having like a psychosis episode. And unfortunately, with people like that, he was a Discord mod. That like Reddit mod, 150%. That dude is a moderator on the internet. Hard. He actually looks like gosh, let me find it. Hold on. The Soy Jack faces. Where's the angry one? There's this guy. He looks like, oh gosh, I have too many windows open. Ah! All right, let's check. Before I get into this, let's check this again. Let me refresh our transaction history. Spot transactions, still nothing. Okay, we're still waiting over here. He looks like this guy. Oh, wait, where did it go? I fumbled. Ah! I did it again. You guys ever see that video of the grandpa trying to pay the toll? Right here. He looks like this guy. He looks like this guy. Oh, I don't want to make fun of him because he clearly had like a psychotic episode, but he looks exactly like this dude. What's going on? Why is the market pumping? We're getting some green here. What's going on? I thought he broke in. He did break in. He broke in. The homeowner eventually returned. The homeowner's wife was home. And he was like breaking down doors inside the house, like yelling. He's like, "Where is she?" And the homeowner came home, and there was a physical confrontation. Like they fought. And then the homeowner went and got a big, like, it's a barn shovel. Everyone's calling it a snow shovel. It's a barn shovel. They used to like scoop shit from a horse. And he like threatened the guy, and he's like, "Are you military?" And the guy's like, "Yes." And he's like, "I understand what you're going through right now. Will you do me a favor? Will you come outside?" And he's like, "Yeah." And then he comes outside and he gets arrested. I don't know if he was military or not. Harry Dresden is a fictional character, apparently. Crazy, crazy situation. We're going to have to start doing whole like reaction segments on the stream, I think. I think it'll be worth it. Reven Lachlan said, "Yo, what's going on, Reven? Happy Saturday, my friend. Let's get to our coin confessions. We got a little bit of a green situation on Bitcoin right now. It's exciting. A little green candle. We got the we got the Soy Jack pump for ants face going on. Lunar said, "Compare him to a picture of the postal dude." Ooh, okay, hang on. Harry Dresden doorbell cam. Let me see if I can get a picture of him. Okay, here we go. We got a picture of him. Okay, so this is him. And this is the Soy Jack face. Yeah, that is the same guy. And then you said compare him to the postal guy? The postal guy apparently is... Oh, not Ted Kaczynski. That's the Unabomber. Going postal, very angry, uncontrollable. Patrick Sherrill? This guy's got a mustache. Is that the same guy? I don't know if this is the right guy. I'm not gonna... Yeah, the dude basically just like lost his mind. Trump at UFC tonight? Okay. While the war is being negotiated? Trump is attending UFC while there's a war? And this guy's breaking into people's homes? Alright, let's get to our coin confessions. We got... There's a gaming project I helped co-found. I eventually asked for my investment back and left because my co-founder wouldn't listen and strayed quite far from our original vision. Bro wouldn't even talk to me now. I still have so many suggestions to make the project gain traction, but I'll let it burn. I'm not sure what's happening now. I think X completely nuked their account, going from hundreds of likes on a post down to like 3 to 5 likes. Damn, that sucks. I have been in crypto for almost a decade. If you're not following me today, you'll regret it. That'd be great if somebody used Confessions to post it. That would be so good. Okay. I've been in crypto for almost a decade, 2017, and the only money I have ever made was from Zeta's airdrop, which I bought gadgets to earn better with and failed. I have tried futures and memes and more airdrops, and I have never had another break. I envy everyone who has. There's definitely some nuance to it, and there's definitely luck involved as well. It's kind of crazy. Oh, did I bookmark my own post? Damn, that's embarrassing. Did not mean to do that. Okay, bought $300 of juice last night and thought I was voting for it to launch on Moonshot. First and second votes failed. I was actually interacting with a wallet drainer. Of course, it is now up 30% overnight. Time for a break. Oh no, that sucks. That sucks so bad, dude. BRICS News posted Iran-U.S. talks grew tense in the last hours, according to MSN. This was posted 3 hours ago. And then Polymarket said Qatar announces maritime navigation will fully resume for all vessels and ships in the Persian Gulf starting Sunday. Let's check up on Kobe SC letter, see if there's any updates. I'm sure there is. Wallet Drainer Classic. Yeah, dude, that stuff's scary, man. That's another thing that cracks me up. There's always so many people that are like, I don't want to buy anything unless it's listed on an exchange. And I understand that to an extent. But then those are the same people that complain about not being able to make any money. So there's that side. But the other side of it is the people that are messing around in like the on-chain sector of crypto. A lot of people are very ignorant to the space, the security of the space. Nobody wants multiple wallets. They're like, oh, it's such a hassle to have multiple wallets. And then they're like, oh my gosh, I lost $700,000 because I don't have multiple wallets. What do you expect? You know, if you're going to be your own bank, you have to treat it like a bank account. You cannot treat it like a game. It's not a game. People treat it like freaking like it's V-Bucks on Fortnite, which is also real money. But you can't treat it that way, man. It's crazy. Wallet drainer is a hard way to learn. I'm so scared that something's gonna happen to me one day, and it's gonna be something like unavoidable. But I've been so cautious, and I think that's why I'm scared. Because if I'm cautious and it happens, then that's terrifying. But I try to keep all my stuff in multiple places. Let's check our deposits again. Let me go refresh. Yeah, we still got nothing. Yep. Still waiting. Do you have a transaction hash for that? Was it Kwame? I have no idea how long it's going to take. We'll be there tomorrow, though. I might try to stream early. So tomorrow I gotta go to my mom's. I gotta go to my sister's. They're both getting work done. And if I'm home at a decent time, I'll probably get on earlier. Kind of like today. Maybe even earlier if I can help it. Like I said, though, next week we should be streaming a lot more than usual. Bitcoin's chilling. Quiet. I still can't believe that it's silly to me that tokenized gold and silver exists and no one's even touching it. Lunar Energy said 2015 was my first experience with that. Took a dip into crypto because of Litecoin. Ended up giving out my seed phrase because I thought it was linking it to the website of a chain I liked. Damn, that's crazy. Gourmet said it shouldn't take this long. the other day, so I sent some ADA from Coinbase the other day, and it literally took hours. I sent it. We were on stream. I was waiting. I'm waiting, because there was something happening, and somebody was like, short that shit or whatever, and I was like, all right, let's do it. And I sent, I think, because they wanted like $100 minimum. BitUnix was like, because it was a volatile asset, and it was like plummeting. It was one of the new ones that just rugged too. Damn it, what one was it? And I sent $100, and I was just sitting on it, man. I was just waiting for forever. I don't remember what it was. We looked at it the other day too. Siren. It was Siren. That's what it was. Because we were reading all the stuff about it being a scam. Yes, 88 said we missed the trade because it caused that. Yes, that's exactly what happened, man. It was, I think it was this first one right here. That's a minus 64% negative candle. And we missed it. We were literally like, oh my gosh, it's going to drop, it's going to drop. And then we went to go trade it, and they were like $100 minimum. I was like, shit. It didn't say $100 specifically. It was a certain number of tokens, which was pretty much, I think it was like 80 something dollars. So I hurried up and I sent the money, but I sent it from Coinbase via ADA, which apparently is two just bad things. It just took so long. I was so mad. It was ridiculous. But that is why I put the stupid disclaimer. You know, you'd think with blockchain and it being 2026, it'd be a little bit faster. But apparently Bitcoin and ETH are slow. And that's what BitUnix says, faster with Solana. I bet you Tron is instant, and that's probably why people use it. Stupid. Ridiculous. Maybe this will convert us to Tron people. I'm still bummed that we missed this, man. This would have been such a good trade. Look at that. Oh my gosh. It's crazy. Because we were seeing all the reports that like 60% of the supply was owned by one wallet or something. I don't know. Those seem like no-brainer trades. All right. Let me check it one more time. Yeah, you think... Oh, there it is. It says completed. There we go. Hey, all right. Let's do it. So I'm going to convert this to Tether. And we're going to start trading. Now, always check the order book. Make sure that you're not going to get screwed. I'm not a big... I mean, I like doing market buy, market sell. It's just quick. But you have to make sure that the asset that you're doing it on has liquidity. You cannot do market buy, market sell on a meme coin in most scenarios. But again, sometimes you can't. Just check the order book. That's what it's there for. And then we transfer from our spot account to our futures account, all $23. And we are ready to trade. Let me go back here. And I'll go here just in case anybody else has anything that they want to send. Yep, there we go. Deposit, sell, transfer. And we are in business. All right, do we have any suggestions for trades, for on-stream trades? Where did our BitUnix deposit thing go? Is that gone? Or did I minimize it on accident? Ah, okay. My bad. Well, no, it's not even in the right spot. Okay, go to futures account. There we go. Okay, so on spot account, it's going to show nothing because we're not in spot anymore. But this is for if anybody else makes any deposits. Should I even leave it down there then? I guess we'll leave it there for now. Let's become millionaires. Let's do it, man. Let's do it. I'm ready. It shows today's P&L. Hang on, wait. It shows today's P&L is 2 cents. We're up 2 cents already? That's kind of funny. Okay, so we have... I guess I should get rid of that, right? The little deposit window. Because we have our money in the... in the futures account. Let's become millionaires. Shorting ICP currently 2 hour looks gorgeous. All right, let's go check. Oh, I can actually look at the 2 hour. Getting a little sweaty. I'm so worried that I'm gonna have to put an air conditioner in here in the summer. $252. So what would our target be? I don't know if I'm getting triangle vibes from that, but there's definitely a lower trend line. I mean, you could actually make the argument that that's broke already. Volume's falling. Yeah, you got your divergence with the price and the volume as well, just like we were talking about with Bitcoin in the 4 hour. What are you thinking? Are you not sick anymore? So I'm assuming I sweated out the other day. It was definitely a sinus thing. My fiance and my daughter had it first, and I thought I was going to skirt by without it. And I had that day, my head was just hemorrhaging, and I was sweating a lot and stuff. And the day after, I had a headache for a little while, and I still got like a little phlegmy cough situation, but luckily it's not like a throaty, you know. It's just, I'm assuming it was just a sinus infection or something. But I'm feeling a lot better. You know, I went to work the next day, no problem. I thought I was gonna, I thought I was screwed, man. That day was so bad. I can't do stuff when I get like a hemorrhaging headache. I'm like debilitated. So, I got lucky though. It wasn't too awful. How are we feeling about this ICP setup? I'm not necessarily sold on. I'm gonna need a little more convincing. So we got to figure out how we're gonna do the trade thing. We need community votes, community input. If we find something, we can go for it. I'm not a big ICP guy, so I mean the RSI looks like it's curling down. We got a big cloud, big value cloud on the market cipher, which has to eventually come back down. So let's see what happens with that. What are we thinking? We want to short this? We could go meme coins as well. BitUnix has quite the selection. We know Arrow's pretty high up. I feel like this one's not a bad idea. Kwame said I'm leaving it in your hands. So the idea with the account is for the community to vote. So if anyone's ever got any input, speak up. Because we're totally open to it. And if we see anything on stream, this is a tweezer top right here. So this candle, that candle alone might have been it, but 3%, I don't know. It could just as easily flip. Let's go see. I wish I could sort. I know CoinMarketCap has exchanges that you can look at, but you can't exactly go to what those exchanges have listed. So let me pull up the BitUnix page. And let's see what's listed here. We've got, I want to see what's moving, what's hot. Gratifying commodities. Anything crazy? Rave is up 14%. This is the one that we shorted the other day and made bank on. Aria? Hype. Sirens on here. Fartcoin. Fartcoin moves pretty significantly when it does move. Toncoin's up 11%. Trador. Soon. Whoa, this thing's up 52%. True USDT. Trump. That's got a little, wait a minute. The Trump thing had a little Trump hat on next to it. What the heck? Wait, what is that too? SHIB has a little SHIB thing? That's crazy. Bitcoin Cash should have an old man next to it. Covering the charts, sir. Yeah, we're looking at the BitUnix. We're looking at BitUnix specifically. Should I make it full screen? I can make it bigger. Is that better? Do we prefer that? Let's see. I don't know if there's any trades with Rave. This thing fully recovered? Whoa! I think we shorted this right here. April 11th? No, that was today. What? Where did we short it? Was it right here? Wow. We caught the one red move? It went up more. It was less than $2 yesterday. That's crazy. This would have been a great long then, I guess. Yeah, I think that's what we caught. I don't remember. I might have sold it in this first candle. I don't remember. 88 said, when you were on the other one, BitUnix was laid over it. I don't think I was on the other one. This little guy? I had this little window open. I know you guys could see the other thing in the background, though. I had this little partially... I don't know. I'm not sold on anything particular yet. What are you guys thinking? All right, let me make sure you guys can see what I see. Okay. Let's go to Koyesi later. We'll see if anything pops up for trading. This whole thing we're going to streamline eventually. The US dollar continues to lose market share. The US dollar now represents around 46% of global FX and gold reserves, the lowest in at least 26 years. Excuse me. This percentage has declined 15 points since 2017. Excluding gold, the US dollar makes up 57% of global reserve currencies, the lowest since 1994 according to IMF data. This comes as central banks have aggressively accumulated gold and diversified into other currencies. The last time the US dollar fell below 50% of global reserves was in 1990 to 1991, a period marked by elevated inflation, a recession, and a crisis of confidence in the US economy. What is happening here? Probably the same thing. 88 said, you closed that last short perfect time too? Apparently I did. That's crazy. I like to try to get in and out relatively quick. I like to babysit my trades because I've had too many situations where it'll just retrace immediately and then I lose all of my like paper profits, and that sucks. I'm not a fan of losing my paper profits. And then also kind of rolls into me being an impatient person. But I am kind of a stickler with stop loss as well. So that might detriment us. That's why I want to have the community vote. I don't know if the chat in YouTube is the best way to do it or if Discord is the best way to do it. We'll probably start with the YouTube chat, have people vote. People bring up arguments. We'll be like, what should we do with this? Should we short or long this? Or should we, like, what asset do we want to look at? You guys vote on the asset, and then long or short, we'll gauge it on that. The U.S., Iran, and Pakistan have begun a new round of trilateral talks. This is 5 hours ago, extending the first direct talks between the U.S. and Iran since 1979. 88 said, please never use in and out and babysit in the same sentence again. Thank you. Okay. That's fair. Healthcare is carrying U.S. job growth more than ever. The number of healthcare workers has surged 84%, wow, since 1996, far outpacing every other major sector. Growth has accelerated since the 2020 pandemic, rising 24% to a record 18.4 million employees. Meanwhile, the number of construction workers has risen 55% since 1996 to 8.3 million, also an all-time high. This is followed by financial activities roles at 32% and retail trade at just 10% over the same period. Manufacturing has gone in the opposite direction, declining 27% to 12.6 million, near the lowest since January 2022. The U.S. job market is heavily skewed toward healthcare. Interesting. I never would have guessed. I guess there's a lot of people, and those people eventually get old, so that makes sense. Americans are increasingly expect unemployment to rise. The perceived probability among U.S. consumers that the unemployment rate will be higher in 1 year increased 3.6 percentage points in March to 43.5%, the highest since April 2025. This is also the second highest reading since the 2020 pandemic. By comparison, this indicator was below 40% for most of the 2014 to 2019 period. Furthermore, the perceived probability of losing a job over the next 12 months increased 0.6 percentage points to 14.4%, now above 2022 to 2023 levels. Meanwhile, the perceived probability of finding a job within 3 months after a job loss rose 1.9 percentage points to 45.9%, but stands near the lowest level since the survey began in 2013. Americans are bracing for a weaker labor market. Interesting. I'm still curious about this whole AI transition thing. There's definitely tech jobs being lost among the factory workers and such. And I just saw a post somebody shared. I can actually pull it up because I replied to it. Or I think I reposted it. Yeah, right here. The post is eerie, man. It's got these like seamstress workers like sewing shirts and stuff like that. And check this out. They're wearing like little cameras. All of them, every last one of them has these little cameras on to train the AI, to train the robots to learn how to do these jobs. That's the like most dystopian thing I've ever seen. What's going to be even creepier is when they start to see like half of them disappear and they're replaced with robots. It's going to be creepy, man. It's going to be creepy. Literally, I think we're going to play Detroit Become Human on the channel because of what's going on with AI and robotics. It's getting weird, man. 88 said, silver and gold show was here this weekend. Silver was going for about $5 over spot, 50 ounces, and over for spot. Damn. Okay. So you think it's going to go up? Or you think people are just still hyping it up? Okay. Unemployment. Top 20% of Americans now own the majority of U.S. real estate. The top 1% of U.S. earners hold a record $6.1 trillion in real estate, followed by the next 19% who hold $21 trillion, an all-time high. This means the top 20% own a combined $27.1 trillion, or 56.4% of total U.S. real estate wealth. By comparison, in the mid-1990s, this percentage stood at 47.6%. Meanwhile, the bottom 20% hold just $2.5 trillion, or 5.1%. At the same time, the 60th to 80th percentile of U.S. earners own 18.7% of real estate wealth. The U.S. wealth divide is at record highs. Crazy. 88 said, no, I think it will be below $50. Okay. I mean, I remember buying it at 23. I thought 25 was crazy when it got to 30. I was never expecting it to go over 100 that fast. It was insane. The U.S. debt crisis is heading into uncharted territory. The U.S. government spent 18 cents of every dollar of revenue on interest expense in fiscal year 2025, the highest since the 1990s. Interest expense as a percentage of revenue has tripled since 2015. CBO projects this will surge to a record 25 cents of every dollar by 2035, meaning a quarter of all tax revenue will go to servicing debt alone. These projections assume no major slowdown, recession, or significant rise in treasury yields over this period. The U.S. debt crisis is intensifying. Does it actually matter, though? Breaking, the delinquency rate on commercial mortgage-backed securities for offices surged 51 basis points in March to 11.71%, the second highest on record. This is now 1 percentage point above the post-2018 financial crisis peak set in 2012. Furthermore, the delinquency rate for multifamily CMBS rose 30 basis points to 7.15%, the highest in 10 years. As a result, the overall U.S. CMBS delinquency rate rose 41 basis points last month to 7.55%, the highest since the 2020 pandemic. Since 2023, this percentage has risen 450 basis points. The commercial real estate downturn is deepening. I feel like commercial real estate is screwed because people are losing jobs and they're getting more strict on immigration and all kinds of stuff. It's going to get weird. Maybe not, though. 88 said it did nothing for decades and has had 1.5 good years only. Silver? Yeah. Yeah, it definitely did nothing for decades. I sold some of my stack 500 ounce a monster box at 104-ish a few months back. Nice. I've seen those boxes look sick. I actually was thinking about I like copper. I don't know why, because I can get the stupid 1 pound trapezoid, and they make a little box where you can put 10 of them in. I'm like, man, I kind of want one of those boxes. It was 18 to 22 for years. Oh yeah, yes it was. Yeah, I'm still wondering if it's gonna play out like this, because this is a bear flag, but it's like right at the top right now. It looks like it wants to try, and I wouldn't be surprised if it reject 82. Why is 82 important? I guess because of these two little wick rejections. I suppose. Might be a little arbitrary. Maybe it rejects 80. 80 seems a little more probabilistic. If it does anything, it might not even do that. Any of those. You do got that confirmed red dot on market saver though. It's having trouble getting above that level, so. I still don't know if that's relevant to silver specifically, but I do like to point it out. Bitcoin's trying to decide if it's going to hold 73K or not. The copper premium's too dumb, in my opinion, on bullion. I usually just go on eBay. I got a little pound flat from a pawn shop for like dirt cheap too. That was fun. It's just fun. I just like having the shit. It's fun to touch. You're not supposed to touch it. I'm like, ooh. I put my fingers all over it all day. I'm like, ooh. Why's my silver all tarnished? All right, guys. Yeah. I guess we'll be back tomorrow. We'll figure out what to do for trades and such. Because I do want to. We're gonna start trading on the channel, on the streams. It's gonna be fun. Because the rave and the siren, the opportunities are presenting themselves. So now that we got a dedicated setup for all that, I think it's gonna be fun. Man, I can't believe Zcash is up 50% in the last month. That's crazy. Yeah, I'm gonna look at maybe we'll check trending. Toncoin, Akzu, Sky AI. I'll try to find something, I guess, before I go. Midnight. There's no way this is trending right now. They paid for this. It's bullshit. Send the contract for my cut of wins so my lawyer can review. Thank you. Right. Right. Trador. There's that Trador thing. Some of these are a little sus. I don't understand why Midnight would be up there at all. It hasn't made shit for like a month. So that's kind of funny. Siren. This is still up there. It's up 10% in the last 24 hours. Bola. Somebody mentioned this on stream the other day. It's down 41%. Is that on there? Let's see if that's on there. Oh shit, I don't want to take a screenshot. Hang on. Clicking the wrong buttons. Alright. I guess let's favorite Rave because we know it's topical at the moment. No! Dang it! We got no Bulla, okay. Alright, what else can we add to our favorites for now? Just of anything that's Arrow. We know Arrow moves. Arrow does move when it moves. Let's get Arrow up here. Pretty sure they have Arrow. Sweet. Okay. Build a nice favorites list. If you guys got any suggestions, drop them in the chat. Or in Discord. We can also go in Discord. Maybe I might make a dedicated channel in the Discord for the trading. For the channel, like on channel trading. And then if the account builds up to some crazy number, then maybe we can do giveaways and stuff. We can vote on what to do with the money. 88 said just see what's up in the last hour and short it. That's not a bad idea. I'm clicking on the wrong buttons. There we go. River Destroy is building token. Fartcoin. Fartcoin's probably a great trade. Cappy Bobo. Pump Fun, ETH Gas, Mango Network, Falcon Finance, Venice Token. I've heard a lot about that. This is not affiliated with Venice. Yeah, this is AI, I think, isn't it? Top 10 hold 91%. Private censorship-resistant generative AI platform for text conversations, image and code generation, AI character interactions built on open source models, powered by decentralized infrastructure. Led by Eric Voorhees and Tiana Baker-Taylor. Founded in May 2024, today supports more than 450,000 users. Wow. I mean, I don't like that top 10 owns 90%. It's crazy for distribution. Are you kidding me? Wow. All right. What's up the most last hour? Prediction jelly. Prediction jelly. Jelly is not verified by CoinMarketCap. The logo and social links are from third-party sources. Can I see it? Prediction jelly. This looks volatile as hell. This is brand new. They just launched this. This definitely ain't gonna be on on BitUnix. All right. Bitcoin's dumping. Uh-oh. What the heck? Ah! What happened to the war start over? Dang it. What is this? What's going on? We're already down to 72K. Talks must be off. Something must have happened. That's a pretty big red candle. Let me check my quick source. Glad I didn't end the stream. My financial juice. VP Vance on Iran, no deal yet. Is that literally why it dropped? No shit. He said we go back to the US without deal. No deal yet. Talks with Iran for 24 hours. There are shortcomings. He extends his stay in Pakistan. Okay. What does we go back to US with no deal? Without deal. What the hell's that about? Iran chose not to accept US terms. Vance press conference around 8:55 p.m. in Islamabad. Okay, do we watch that? Maybe we should watch that. I should be watching that right now. I can't just plagiarize. Okay.
Amazing job and really tried to help us and the Iranians bridge the gap and get to a deal. We have been at it now for 21 hours, and we've had a number of substantive discussions with the Iranians. That's the good news. The bad news is that we have not reached an agreement, and I think that's bad news for Iran much more than it's bad news for the United States of America. So we go back to the United States having not come to an agreement. We've made very clear what our red lines are, what things we're willing to accommodate them on, and what things we're not willing to accommodate them on. And we've made that as clear as we possibly could, and they have chosen not to accept our terms. Questions?
Sir, Nick Robertson from CNN. Precisely what have they rejected here? Can you help us understand it a little bit?
Well, I won't go into all the details because I don't want to negotiate in public after we negotiated for 21 hours in private. But the simple fact is that we need to see an affirmative commitment that they will not seek a nuclear weapon, and they will not seek the tools that would enable them to quickly achieve a nuclear weapon. That is the core goal of the President of the United States, and that's what we've tried to achieve through these negotiations. Again, their nuclear program, such as it is, the enrichment facilities that they had before, they've been destroyed. But the simple question is, do we see a fundamental commitment of will
Who's this little
of the
guy?
Iranians not to develop a nuclear weapon, not just now, not just 2 years from now, but for the long term? We haven't seen that yet. We hope that we will. Jen.
Was there a framework on anything, and also did the Iranian frozen assets come up, and did you reach any conclusions on those frozen assets?
We talked about all those issues, Jen, and we talked about a number of issues beyond that. And so certainly those things came up. But again, we just could not get to a situation where the Iranians were willing to accept our terms. I think that we were quite flexible. We were quite accommodating. The president told us, you need to come here in good faith and make your best effort to get a deal. We did that. And unfortunately, we weren't able to make any headway. Preston.
Mr. Vice President, how often did you communicate with President Trump throughout the negotiations? There were reports that there were multiple rounds.
He does. He looks like
breaks
he's
in
trying not to
between
poop.
negotiations.
He's
How
like he's
often
got
did you
that like.
communicate with the president throughout those rounds, and what was he saying as you were going through these negotiations that you said were short?
Yeah, obviously we were talking to the president consistently.
He's trying really hard not to poop.
We talked to him a half dozen times, a dozen times over the past 21 hours. We obviously also talked to Admiral Cooper, to Pete, to Marco, to the entire national security team. We talked to Scott Bessent a number of times. So look, we were constantly in communication with the team because we were negotiating in good faith. And we leave here with a very simple proposal, a method of understanding that is our final and best offer. We'll see if the Iranians accept it. Thank you.
The Strait of Hormuz.
Did you going back to Prime Minister Netanyahu at all today? What about the Strait of Hormuz? Did they give you any indication of the Supreme Leader's health?
The people that keep asking questions are so cringy. Is there somebody? Do they just focus on this for an hour afterwards? What the hell? Whoa, that's creepy. All right, so I guess nobody gives a crap. He just screams science experiment, doesn't he? He's an odd fellow, isn't he? He's a very strange looking gentleman. He seems reasonable as far as like being a human being. You know, he seems like he wouldn't make a bad president. I don't know. That's like surface level judgment from me. I'm a judgy guy. I like to judge. But I don't really know shit about the guy, you know? I don't know nothing about him. Market is dumping on this nothing burger news. I don't know why anybody gives a crap. I don't know who. Nobody should have been expecting a deal. We have 2 weeks of ceasefire. We're like 2 days into it. They're not gonna make no freaking deal right away. They're gonna make it the best deal possible. And in order to do that, you gotta push it to the wire. You gotta make it look like, well, we're not gonna do a deal. Bye. That's the art of the deal. You just play hardball until you get what you want. They are never, ever, ever going to negotiate on day one. That's insane. Last report. What did you have for lunch? Oh, man. Oh. If that doesn't seem staged, I don't know what does. Ay, ay, ay. All right, folks. Man, Bitcoin's really pushing down right now, ain't it? There's still a ceasefire. Am I wrong? Rubio's ready to advance. Oh, yeah. Rubio actually seems to get stuff done. Like Bessent is the brains, Rubio is the body. Woo! Big dumping. Not sure what to make of it. 71,589. We got some alts that are down 2, 3, 4%. Zero. Arrows up. Oh my goodness. We should have shorted that. Damn it. Oh, 8 is done. Or midnight. I mean, 8 is button done. Midnight's done. Sweet. Hondo. Off do. Man, I'm kind of bummed that we didn't short Arrow. That's a 4% trade right there. Shit. Low volume dump, too. Weird. Weird low volume dump. Bitcoin's a big volume dump compared to the previous candle. Is it going to bounce right away, though? This is such a nothing burger dump. What a weird thing. All right, I suppose I should call it. I suppose. We're going for 2.5 hours. Missing a little short. Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to chase it though, because the second I do, it's gonna pop right back up. I think I'm gonna go have a bowl of cereal. I gotta say, look, maybe too much information. I apologize in advance for this, but my bowels been suffering a little bit. I gotta poop. It's been a while since I pooped. I'm working my fiber intake or something. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what it is. I don't know what's causing it. It's weird. I just don't poop anymore. I'm like Kim Jong-un in the interview. He has a no butthole. He has a no need for one. I was cracking up last night. I was getting ready to go to bed. I was like deliriously tired, and I was like, what if I didn't poop anymore? What if I just farted for the rest of my life? I thought that was the funniest thing, man. This is the end of the stream rant. Let's see, are we going to get a spike right back up? We got a little 15-minute candle close just now. Maybe not an arrow, but let's see if Bitcoin gets a wake up. It's down 1.92% on that news. Wow. Crazy, crazy, crazy dump. If it goes right back up, I got the magic touch. I'm going to mark it for tomorrow's stream. This is where we close the stream at. Maybe I should start doing that. That's actually kind of fun. The dashed line will be where we close the stream. I'll actually just type it in there. No. Yeah, there we go. Add text. Last night's stream end price. So let's see where we're at tomorrow by comparison. Anyways, folks, as always, when Bitcoin or the market starts to do anything crazy or anything at all, I will hop back on. Otherwise, I will see you all tomorrow. Don't forget to smash the like button on your way out. Happy Saturday and good night.